Parenting sucks sometimes. It's not like you see on TV. It's not like you see on Pinterest. And it's not what the perfect Facebook moms try to make it seem. Kids are loud. Kids break things. Kids always make messes. On Kids for Sale, we explore the reality of being parents. The parts that aren't fun. The parts that nobody wants to admit to each other. Because being a parent is hard. And sometimes the only thing that makes it easier is hearing how bad it sucks for someone else. So join us on Kids for Sale, every other Friday on the Journey into Comics Network.
The following
Journey into Comics.
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 Network.
Production.
Heritage.
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Nick and Tyler, and we're coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
Can't save him, Carl.
Aw, man. You blew my intro. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Podcastrophe episode 63. I about said 66 for some reason.
I thought it was 63 last week.
Yeah.
This is where 66 happening.
Probably. It needs to happen. Get rid of all the Jedi. We are welcoming a very special guest. He hasn't been here since, I think, episode 5. This house is bitchin'.
Yeah, that would probably been the last one I was on for.
Yeah, please,
Back when I was in
everybody.
your neck of the woods.
Yeah, please, everybody, welcome Andrew Puhr of Puhr Entertainment, and Puhr News, and Adulting Ain't Easy, and Foodies Watching Movies. All those.
All of those.
all the things.
Hi, everyone. All the things. All the things that make me sad, but happy, but sad. All the things.
All the things that I loathe.
Sadness.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. It's been a day.
Yeah.
Work is always fun. And then I realized I didn't winterize my outdoor spigot, so I had to go do that today.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to do that, too. Shit!
I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm learning things.
Fuck.
I get to start doing this stuff next week.
Are you closing this week?
I'm closing next week.
Oh.
Probably next Tuesday. I can't wait.
It'll be a very special live stream.
Yeah, that reminds me. I don't know if we're going to have a show next Tuesday.
I won't be here.
Yeah, he's not going to be here, but if we close, I'm going to be taking care of everything else, so...
Well,
You heard it here,
mine
folks.
was in the morning, so it all depends on what time you have yours scheduled for.
3 p.m. And then
Mine
we're just-
took just about an hour, so...
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, we're probably going to start getting... as soon as we can, we're going to start moving stuff over there.
Mine
so.
was over 2 hours long.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Well,
Yeah,
yours took a bit.
we'll see.
I was
what happens.
preparing for like 3 hours, and it's like, oh, we're done? Okay, let's go.
Nope. The people that were sitting in the boardroom when we were filling out all the paperwork, like, the Clear Eyes guy in fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I can't even remember that guy's name.
Ben Stein?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Ben Stein. Imagine that guy reading all of my paperwork, line by line, word for word.
Oh, dear Lord.
And it was just, like, imagine him in slow motion. That was that.
So it was the Bueller?
Yes.
Just Bueller
Bueller.
pause. Like, God,
Bueller.
wrap this up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was over 2 hours long. It was pretty miserable.
Oh, man. Good
AP,
luck.
I'm surprised you didn't get taxed just to have yours done. Living over in Illinois.
Oh, it's all fun. This are those property taxes. You're like, God, why?
God, you guys get taxed for every little thing you do in existence.
Yeah, and it's even worse up in the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah.
They're like, at least I'm not in like Cook County, because that would be even worse.
Right.
At least I'm not in there.
Like, I recently saw a thing on an entertainment tax for, like, PlayStation Plus and stuff like that. What?
Yeah,
It's
I'm getting
ridiculous.
that movie pass tax next year.
What?
Movie pass, AMCA list. They're
Wow.
upping the prices in like all the big states, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Illinois is going to go up $2." I was like, "God damn it, why? Why?"
It's all give and take. I mean, because like if you compare just Illinois and Texas, Illinois doesn't pay any state income tax,
Yeah.
and you can do 40-year mortgages or not Illinois. Texas doesn't do any state income tax, and you can do 40-year mortgages in Texas. So you can buy a lot more house for a reasonable mortgage payment. I mean, obviously depending on your interest rate, but
Right.
you get fucked on property taxes. I
Yeah.
mean, property taxes are double just in the city of Houston that they are here. So
So it's
it's all
it is
give,
a
it's all give and take.
You'll
Wow.
be fine. You're in central Indiana. You'll be okay. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know, Tyler. You'll know better than I about property taxes in Indiana.
They're average.
I just signed the papers.
Yes. my buddy in North Carolina was like, telling me his mortgage payment. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, it's not even okay.
Yeah, we're in the weird zone because like the county that we live in, I mean, we're not Indianapolis, but we're like our tax rate is a lot higher than say like Gary or like LaPorte, just because of where we're located. You know, we're like, I don't know. I consider where we live a suburb of both Chicago and Indianapolis because we're smack dab in the middle of the two, and we get all the shit from both places.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we do.
we're kind of fucked either way.
Yeah.
Tiffany County's just really expensive to live in.
It is. I mean, my dad tried to get me to move back to Delphi, Carroll County, and then he also tried to get me to move to Rossville, and her parents tried to get me to move to Rossville or Mulberry, and I'm like,
Or Frankfurt.
or Frankfurt. I won't live in Frankfurt.
No.
Lafayette. That's where I actually.
Close commute.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
Which I mean, I wouldn't mind living in between here and Rossville, but we found a house here, so
Yeah.
it just works out.
You guys, I mean, the whole house buying process is hard enough. I mean, all three of us now have bought a house recently. You know, you're buying your house next week.
Yep.
AP and Liz bought their house here recently. I'm going on 2 years in my first house. It's just a fucking miserable process. I think it is anyway. Because it took us 3 years to buy a house. Because the first 2 years that we were looking for houses, no shit. like the first 6 months before I bought my house, which is year number 3, we literally pulled out of our driveway to go to a viewing of a house, and I was one of the first people to view this fucking property, and but no sooner than backed out of my driveway, my realtor was calling me, said, "Hey, don't even make the trip," because someone just bought it.
Wow.
That was what happened
that-
to me for 3 years.
Was
So-
the market that crazy?
Yeah.
In Lafayette?
It is.
Well, there's so much manufacturing activity here, and then you couple Purdue on top of that, that there is constantly a large influx of people for whatever reason. You know, traveling tradesmen, just general contractor outfits moving in, people relocating to fill the staffing needs of the major manufacturers here where we live. It's just a constant influx of people, and then you throw in and kind of already topsy-turvy market with, because housing is really sporadic in the county that we live in. It's either like obnoxiously wealthy type houses or prefab national homes. You know, it's hard to find that in between. So anything of any value that's on the market goes really, really fast. And then I don't know what your guys' experience has been with realtors, but the first 2 realtors that I had were fucking awful. I mean, the first... Go ahead.
Ours wasn't bad. We only stuck with one. It was a recommendation from, like, a family friend. Mm-hmm. And she did a good job, but we started looking in, like... What was it, the beginning of the year, and didn't find something until the summer, so...
Yeah.
But it was a lot of, like, looking at houses, like... Either, yeah, like you said, like, some houses be like, oh, let's check it out. And it's like, oh, it's... Like, there's a house that, like... Like, we were going to be like, all right, let's check it out. Let's invite the parents, have them get their seal of approval. And then, like, day before, they're like, no, it's gone. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, the first realtor that I had, I was very steadfast on what my price range was going to be, which at the time, I made a large sum of money. So what I was approved for versus what I wanted to pay were very different numbers.
Oh, yeah, I was the same way.
And I had a meeting with her, and I was like, look, this is a hard number. I mean, I'll go over this number slightly, but I'm not going to go over this number tens of thousands of dollars. You know, if I have to spend an extra $1,000 to close on the home that I want, that's obviously reasonable. But if I have to spend, 20, 30 grand to get the house that I want, then to me, that's not the house that I should get, because I live in the mindset that I like to travel. I have a lot of expensive hobbies. You are crazy if you shackle yourself with a house payment. The phrase is making yourself house poor, and I think that's a really bad investment, because I look at buying a home as an investment, whether it's a home that you're going to spend 5 to 10 years on, or if you go the other train of thought and you spend as much as you possibly can because you're going to be in that house for 20 years. Either way, I think if you shackle yourself with a house payment, that you're making a bad investment, because you can never plan for what the market's going to do. Especially with our economy, our administration. I got fucked out of a really good interest rate because I closed on my house 2 weeks after interest rates went up. If I would have closed on my house 2 weeks sooner, I would have got almost 1.5% lower interest rate than I did. So, that's...
We locked in when we signed.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what you do.
Oh, okay.
But,
Right, but it all depends on what the market's doing at the time.
I did a cool thing.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
No. It depends on...
Here, I thought we did something smart.
It depends on the general state of the economy and what the administration's doing and the banks and blah, 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 blah. But, I looked... The house that I ended up buying was the first house that I looked at, the third go-around.
Yeah.
And my wife and I decided that we weren't going to rush to buy the first house that we saw this time around. And I had a really good realtor who was patient and did exactly what I asked her to do and was very good at communicating. So I said, you know what? We saw this house. There's not a big draw for people clamoring over it. So let's view, 2 or 3 other houses and then see kind of how it ends up. So a couple weeks goes by, and we view a house, and I was just not happy with it. And my realtor could tell, and she said, why don't you let me call the realtor for the home that you viewed the first time? Let's go back and look at that today, because I know they'll let you look at it today, because they're very motivated to sell that house, and then see if your opinion has changed. Well, my wife fell in love with it. I pretty much maintained my opinion. So I bought the house that she wanted to do, which, is what it is. Mm-hmm. But if I would have bought the house when we looked at it the first time, I would have locked in 1.5% lower interest rate than I did when I ended up buying it that day when we put our offer in and it was accepted. That's the interest rate that I locked in. So,
right, and it holds for, was it X amount of days depending on what's in your agreement. But
yes.
It'll stay this rate for whatever, 58 days or whatever the stupid number they come up with. And you're like, okay. So as long as we close and everything's good within that period of time, we're fine.
So I had been proposed a rate had not found a house to buy, that 58 days expired, so I got hitch-hacked.
Yeah.
Hitch-hack.
Yeah, they'd like
Check.
to tell you you can afford like twice as much house as you're willing to pay for. You're like, no, I'm not. That would be like all of my money every month for a
Yes.
house that might be nice, but why? Like,
Well, and it's, you know, I mean, you and Liz know, you guys bought a house and then immediately started working on it. I
Right.
have been doing that pretty much since I moved into my house. I have to remodel a bathroom now that I don't have time to remodel. Blaine and Miranda are already talking about how they're going to renovate their house. I mean, it's a job. And you
It
have to
is.
do that on top of all the other shit that I mean, every one of us has hobbies. You know, we all lead busy lives. We have very demanding careers. On top of, you know, spending time with your friends and your family.
right?
I mean, it's like taking on a second job, taking care of a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure the week after I get married, Liz and some of our family are going to be like ripping out the master bath and start remodeling. I'm like, all right, let's just keep this ball rolling. I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way that I look at it, at least my wife and I have agreed that we're not going to live in the house any longer than 5 years, because, you know, obviously depending on where the market's at. If the market's in the shit, you know, I'm not gonna take a massive loss on my house. But, you know, if the market's in good shape and my career path's in good shape and everything's good financially, I see no benefit of riding my house out any longer than 5 years to gain a little bit more equity.
Right, definitely.
You know, property value goes up every year, not regardless of where you're at, but normally property value goes up every year. You know, so every spring for me is when the value of my home is reassessed.
Yeah.
So when my assessment was done this year, in 2 years that I've owned my house, my property value has went up almost $20,000.
Very nice.
So that's what you want to see when you purchase a home. You want to see almost immediate return on that investment. And to me, the property value going up is an immediate return on your investment. Because depending on the state of the market, when you go to sell your home, you should count on that return. That's the way that I
Right.
look at it. But I want to build a fucking house. I want exactly what I want,
Yeah.
when I want it. And Skylar and I have kind of been perusing the market over the last 6 months. Like, what if, because neither one of us are really happy with our house right now, and neither one of us have time to make it the way that we want.
That's crazy because I like your house. Your house is nice.
If you lived in it, you would nitpick it like I do, and you're going to
Yeah.
do this. As soon as you and Miranda move into that house, you're going to start nitpicking shit. It's different than living in a rental or, you know, like here.
Yeah.
And wait till you visit other people's houses too. You'll start noticing things like, I want to do that
Exactly.
in my house. I hate that thing they did there. Like, you're gonna notice things you'd never cared to notice before.
Like, one of the big reasons that we bought our home was, you know, basically my kitchen and, like, the foyer area is all hardwood floor.
Yeah.
Like most, you know, blue-collar Americans, we've got a fucking hard-on for hardwood floor. Well, hardwood floor is fucking hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have to baby that shit. And when you have a kid and animals, it makes it that much more difficult.
I got double that.
You have double that.
I got 2 kids and 2 animals.
Yes, and a wife.
And a wife.
Yes.
That's why life-proof laminate's the way to go if
Yeah.
you want that hardwood look.
Well,
that
and
thing can take a beating.
You know, I'm slowly but surely renovating that half bath downstairs. And originally, I like to do tile work, and I like to really take my time and make it look fantastic. But I don't have time to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that. That tongue and groove laminate shit, man, is the way to go. It's just nice. I mean, it's
I did
not.
that with my dad's house years ago, like when that laminate started becoming really popular, and it looks real nice when it's done, and it's just like, it's so much easier. If you try to put it in hardwood floor, you're going to spend so much time, like, putting it down, nailing it down, sanding it nice, and doing all that finishing work. You're like, it's just awful.
Skylar says, I have 2 dogs and 2 kids, Ruby and Tyler.
She's not wrong.
She's not.
But I mean, with natural hardwood floors, you have to condition them so many years, and they have to be resealed and resanded. And like I found out last year, there was a water incident that went unnoticed for a short period of time. So I've got one section of my floor where some moisture got trapped underneath the floor. So then with wintertime and summertime, there being more moisture in the air or less moisture in the air, I've got one section of boards that likes to expand and contract. So now when I walk over that floor, it fucking creaks. Just that one section, and it drives me insane. But I also don't want to spend a lot of money to fix that. So my solution, I put a rug over it.
That is,
and then I just pretend it's not there.
That's like Big Daddy Adam Sandler, just
with the newspaper.
Puts newspaper over everything.
Yes. So
God.
I'm really excited for you and Miranda. I know you're gonna call me in the middle of the night one Friday, and you're like, dude, I just got done looking.
Help.
I just got done looking at crown molding. What do I do? Like, you'll have that moment because I had that moment.
But no, we looked at the house, and we loved it from like the moment we stepped inside. And then like I was just walking around, and as we're walking out, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, man, because a lot of people, when they buy their first home, it's usually not their last home. Mm-hmm. More than likely, it's not their last home. The average
American lives in a home for less than 10 years.
So, but I started thinking about it, and I started thinking of like the way the kitchen looks and the way everything's arranged room-wise, and I'm like, man, this reminds me of like, it feels like home, Just like the layout, it just feels like a home. And I mean, this is one of those like old 1950s homes where it's like it's got like a ton of character. So like I'm just thinking, I was like, man, this could be home. So we'll see where things go. We're gonna improvise, adapt, and overcome as time goes by, and
buy a giant inflatable ranch bottle to put in the studio.
More than likely.
Did you show the kids the house before you closed on it?
We've driven by it. We haven't been able to go inside it again, but
right.
I think final inspection's like this weekend or sometime soon. I don't know.
You go in there for it?
Yeah, I want to look at it all again.
Yeah, when that inspector goes to look through the home, hug that guy's or girl's ass and follow them through every square inch of that house.
Yeah, if they go in the crawl space, you go in the crawl space. If they go in the attic, you go in the attic. Because there's things going to be like... Also, they'll inform you things about the house that you didn't even notice. You're like,
yes.
This right here, yeah, that's not good. Like, oh. Mm-hmm. And then mine gave me like a 40-page report when it was all done of like,
yes.
This is everything I took pictures of and things I documented.
Yeah.
Like, this is fine. We might want to replace it in 5 years.
Yeah,
this is
we
also
got
good,
that.
but don't.
Yep.
It's all fun.
We had a pretty thorough inspection. It was not much wrong with the house, and what was wrong, we're like, hey, fix this before close, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, that's the nice about. Sometimes like I was in an as-is situation, so it's like, well, they're not gonna do anything about this. So, do you want it? Do you just offer less money? And they're like, yeah, that works. You're like, okay, then.
We had a potentially $2,000 situation that hopefully got fixed because I guess the roof on the porch was collapsing, and you can't tell just by glancing at it, but.
The inspector was like, yeah, you can't.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
stand up here.
Well, the day of the inspection, it rained really hard, so we really got to get a look at what it was like. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, that couldn't have happened at a better time because we really. And on top of that, they said there was like in the description of the house with the things wrong. It said that one of the basement windows kind of leaks. Well, we discovered it's because the drain pipe is pointed directly at it.
So you're like, oh, well, that's an easy fix, but let's.
Cool. Like that's not gonna be hard. And why was it like that to begin with?
People are dumb. Blame.
Yeah. So either way, I'm excited to get it.
Do you have a sump pump at your place?
I don't know.
You didn't look and see if there was a sump in the basement?
That's a question for Miranda. She's pretty much handled this entire thing. And just
typical
like,
Blaine.
hey,
30%.
sign this. Hey, no, like the thing is, all of that shit goes over my head, and I get confused.
You'll learn. You'll learn.
Do you know what a sump pump is?
I do.
Okay.
You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today, boy. Gonna learn today.
Well, if there's not, we'll put one in and we'll put it on a battery backup. So if the power goes out and it's raining, you don't drown.
Yeah, that's what I need. I still need to get my
Good
battery
call.
back up. I had to remove the backup they had down there because it was shot, and then they realized like it died before we bought the house, and like they just started running the backup, and the backup doesn't go where the main should go, so it's just shooting out the side of the house. You're like, yeah, that's not what you want. Just water shooting out and then recycling back through the sump. I was like,
Right.
God, you're all insane. So fix that, and now I just need to get my new sump with a battery backup.
It died.
Oh, fuck.
It died, and instead of fixing it, they just put a sign on it that says still works. They'll believe it.
Oh shit! They'll never think of this.
They'll never suspect anything.
Oh shit!
God.
Man, I feel we're all old men now.
Yeah.
Essentially, we've
Life
taken that next step.
was so fine before.
What happened?
Remember when you used to play Xbox Live until like 3:30 in the morning and then go to school?
3:30.
I mean, that
Just
was
play it, take a quick shower, and then go to school.
that was my hard number
Yeah,
like-
it was.
on a school night.
No, I didn't play. I didn't really play much Xbox Live during
Because
the
you didn't
week.
have friends.
No, it's because I didn't have an Xbox at my dad's. It was all that stuff was at my mom's. I had my computer at my dad's. though.
I had an Atari.
So I would be like on MySpace and every other website I went to, and MSN Messenger till like 3 in the morning.
You
And
played
then
RuneScape over there?
a little bit. I played a little bit of RuneScape, which that's some epic foreshadowing for an episode that's going to happen
Yes.
here in like another month or two.
They have a
Indeed.
mobile app now that's like the
Yes.
same as when we played it. I was like, what the hell?
And
I
it's-
want to
and it's
download it, but then I
cross-platform.
don't. I'm like, I should not do this to myself.
You can use your account that you use on a browser on the mobile app.
Damn it.
I remember
and-
spending like 6 hours just chopping down trees to be like,
Yeah.
now I have a rune axe. Let's do it.
We're making little campfires.
Oh man, yeah. Cameron at work, he was talking about all these skills, and he's like, yeah, I got my campfire skill up to 99, and I'm like, I bet you can make the biggest fires. He's like, not really. I was like, that's so disappointing. He's like, yeah, there's a farming skill, and I was like, oh yeah, once I get like my mining skill and like all this armor and stuff, I'm just gonna get my farming skill up to 99 and just live a simple life.
Farm all the things.
All the things.
Uh-huh. It's funny, I've actually wanted to kind of get back into it, but I just
fucking hate
I
you.
just don't have the time. I don't have
Having
the
it on
time
your
to
phone
devote
is
to
just
it.
the worst place to have it. You'd be like, oh, I can just pull it out right here. Like, no, don't
Please
do it.
don't. Please don't. What the fuck are you playing, RuneScape? Fuck. I can't believe that's still going.
It's a testament to time.
It is. It truly is. I played it for like a whole maybe month in high school, and I never really touched it again.
It was
Clint-
like one school year for me.
Clint's younger
My
brother.
like, was it sophomore year of high school, freshman year? I don't remember actually. When
Yeah, it was around then for me.
Clint's younger brother Taylor got good, and all of his fucking skills were 99 because while he was at school all day, he had bots set up to do the shit for him.
Yep.
So he got like 7 accounts banned for botting.
My younger brother, he played it, and he played it hardcore, like so hardcore that like he had his dad buy membership for him so he could keep
Oh
going.
god, those people.
Oh yeah, my little brother was like that type of person because his dad owns a pet feed store here in town, and like so like he's got money. On top of that, he's diversified his funds, his
Holdings.
His holdings. He owns like a couple laundromats and an apartment building just to like bring in the cash.
It's a lot of cash only businesses.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I know, right? But
I think of the accountant, the Ben Affleck
I
movie.
just-
You're like,
I just fucking realized something. Oops. I'm gonna have a talk with my ex-stepdad. But yeah, so my brother basically whenever he wanted something he could get it. I don't know how many Nintendo DS's he went through just because he kept breaking them.
you break a Nintendo DS. Just
He gets angry. He would get angry and just like throw it.
Me mad.
And the thing is, he's like the smartest of us all. Like, he's going to Purdue right now. He's I think he's already graduated Purdue in engineering, civil engineering, and is going for his
Good
master's
kind.
now.
That's
So-
the good kind of engineering.
That
So
is
he-
good stuff.
He is going for his master's, which is awesome. Good for him. He's in the Purdue marching band, and like he's got shit going for him. So
Bring
good
him
for
in
him.
his flutes.
Got to get his PE done.
Yeah, it's crazy, and to think that little shithead used to play RuneScape and had a membership.
I bet he still plays RuneScape.
He played Adventure Quest too. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
That 2D fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I played Adventure Quest. I'm the one introduced him to both games, and he ended up getting membership for both.
Remember EverQuest?
And I never played EverQuest.
One thing I remember is it was a PC game, but it was Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That was the game.
I never played too many like RPGs. Like
Get like
classic
three friends
style.
over on the PS2 and be like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only time I've ever seen anything for Baldur's Gate was like I was watching. I think at the time it was Tech TV. It eventually went to G4, but I was watching Cinema Tech on Tech TV, and they just had nothing but like videos and cinematics from video games. Good times.
Baldur's Gate, keeping the Dungeons and Dragons alive.
Yep. Have you recently seen I saw this meme that said, "Oh no, OBS is disconnected." Oh well. Recently I saw this meme. It's like horoscopes are dead. Now it's like fifth edition Dungeons and Dragons classes for your month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a ranger. What up?
Shittiest class.
I was gonna say I don't know what
D&D.
that means, but
Yep.
I'm a ranger.
Pretty pathetic.
I'll die now.
You're the Hawkeye of that universe. It's fine.
I think Hawkeye's badass, so whatever.
Yep. I think he's going to be the one to save us all.
I think he is too.
He might be.
Jeremy Renner, I mean, that's kind of a good segue for like a short topic because, I mean, we're all mourning the passing of Stan Lee,
Yeah, a day later.
you
That's
know,
crazy.
R.I.P.
Definitely.
But I've always ranted and raved about how I love Marvel's castings for all the roles, you know, that they've put forth over the last, 10 plus years. Jeremy Renner is one of my favorites. Because
like I didn't know Hawkeye was a thing until Thor.
yeah,
Right.
So-
And that was like a last minute thing. They're like, well, we're just gonna have a sniper there. Like, why can't it just be Hawkeye? They're like, yeah, let's do that.
That works.
Who can we
It works.
cast? But how about Jeremy Renner? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Now it's a thing.
Yeah, I've always really liked Jeremy Renner. I think he's one of the most underappreciated actors in Hollywood. His Bourne movie, I thought
That was decent.
I thought it was good. I thought it was on par with the rest of the Bourne films, and I was really excited to get a kind of parallel trilogy to the original Bourne films. And, sadly that got fucking
Yeah.
axed almost immediately.
But then
It's like, oh, Matt Damon's coming back? Oh, yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
Let's
it
just-
was preceded, or it was. Yeah, it got the Bourne or the Jason Bourne movie, and that was actually a good movie.
Yeah, I know.
That
I
was
That was
dug it
actually
for
a decent
sure.
movie.
But the whole Jeremy Renner's character in his Bourne film was supposed to be Bourne 2.0.
Yeah,
It was supposed to be a different version of Jason Bourne.
yeah, it's like the same program, just the next step, the next level.
Yes. And then, that never really came to fruition. So I've always been a little bit butthurt about that. Because, like I said, I think Jeremy Renner is definitely one of the most underappreciated actors in Hollywood. And, he does really good work, and then he does shit like Hansel and Gretel.
Oh yeah,
never saw it.
never
Oh,
saw that
God,
either.
it was bad. It was
I didn't
really,
wanna see
really
it.
bad.
It looked weird. I'm like, it looks like he's playing the same guy from Avengers.
Pretty
but just
much.
a little different.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Which essentially happened again in the movie Tag, which Pod Daddy Nate Phillips graced us in the chat with that. Says Tag was
Tag actually,
amazing.
I enjoyed Tag.
I
the fact that
really
he also had
enjoyed
two
Tag.
broken arms while making that movie is even more hilarious. He's
Yeah,
like,
that,
it's
I
fine.
loved it. I
We'll
love
CGI
Tag.
my arms the whole movie.
Yes.
Is that what happened? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he broke his arms like like 2 weeks into filming that movie, and then like that's why he's like always in a jacket because like his arms are in like casts. But then they just like whenever he needs to move them, they just CGI'd some arms on him. I'm like, oh dear lord! But you can't tell in that movie.
Yeah, I had obviously, man, I had no idea. That's crazy.
It's like never get injured filming like stunt heavy Avengers, but it's like I'm gonna do tag and just breaks both his arms. Like,
Damn it! Oops.
Have you seen Tag?
No,
Oh, I have it right over here.
don't want to watch it
it's
Why not?
enjoyable.
because it.
John Hamm's also good in that movie.
Just look dumb.
They're all good.
It's quite hilarious. It's a, you know, I haven't seen a movie, a comedy like that in a very long time, where it was just good comedy. It didn't rely on cheap humor. Like, it was just good.
There's only that one like prank that's like, don't joke about that. That's awful. When he's trapped in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't joke about that, but damn. All right, that's how they're gonna go. It went dark, and then it went dark again at the end, and I was like, all right, but still, overall funny. I'll take it.
Definitely. I really enjoyed it. Skylar wants to see it.
She can watch it.
Well,
I
you
liked
can
it's based on
borrow
a
it.
true story, kind
Yeah.
of.
Well, it's based around, and it's a lot more people. It's like 16 dudes, and
Right.
like they just
We did
play.
like forever, and they'll like they even showed like clips at the end. You're like, oh, so
Yeah.
not as intense, but still pretty hilarious. Like, all right,
Yeah, the casting for that movie was just amazing too. Like you said, John Hamm, he was great. What's his name?
the dude
Ed
with the
Helms.
beard,
Ed Helms
Ed
was really
Helms.
good. I think his Hannibal Buress is in it too.
Hannibal Buress, and then the guy Liz likes that guy from that show New Girl. He's in that.
Oh
the
yeah,
bearded dude.
Jake Johnson.
Yep, and he's also voicing Peter
Spi-
Parker in that
Peter
new
Parker,
Spider-Man
yes,
movie.
yes. I've always dug him in basically anything he's in. Let's Be Cops was really funny. His side character in Jurassic World was good.
Oh
dug
yeah,
that.
the first one.
I dug
Where he was
that.
just like meta had the Jurassic Park shark. They're
Yeah,
like,
and they're like,
we got
that's
this.
distasteful. I was kind of bummed he wasn't in Fallen Kingdom.
They should have been. Like, what happened to him? Like, he survived. Where'd they
He
put
did.
him?
He
They
got
fired
out of
him.
there. He got
Go
out of
home.
there.
He got eviscerated by a velociraptor when everyone else was leaving.
God damn it,
He
Blue.
tripped, fell in the water. The big shark ate. The big fish ate him. Like,
Yes.
oh, okay, cool. God,
That's where the big fish, the Mosasaurus, got the idea
Yes.
to take down the Indominus
The
Rex.
Indominus.
The
I hate you.
I about
Oh,
said the
Fallen
Indo
Kingdom.
Rex. Fallen Kingdom was interesting.
it was, yeah. I was like, I liked parts of it, and it was just like, oh, that's what we're gonna do.
They are so far from Michael Crichton's original work at this point,
Right.
while still dribbling parts of the original material in. That I'm just infuriated with it at this point.
yeah, and I know they're making another one. Like,
Yeah,
that's gonna
there's
happen.
one
You're
more.
like,
And here's the thing: I enjoyed the film. It was it was
yeah.
an entertaining movie. But you know, Jurassic Park and The Lost World are two of my gold standards for fictional material. You know, those are some of the best fictional stories ever written. You know, especially from Michael Crichton.
yeah.
And it's just, you know, fucking Jurassic World was good. I thought Jurassic World was good all around. It was definitely, you know, fan service and kind of an homage to the original film. And, you know, there's Easter eggs and there was something for everybody with a diverse, very talented cast. You know, a halfway decent story.
Yeah.
And then Fallen Kingdom just,
Whoa.
I mean, almost from the beginning of the film just falls on its face.
And you know,
Right.
at times it was trying to be The Lost World, and
Yes.
at times it was just trying to be something completely
Right.
new. It was weird. It was
I feel like it was-
different.
I feel like it was using the same like fan service from the first one. It's like, oh, the T-Rex from Jurassic Park's back. So conveniently, right at the beginning.
Right.
Like, okay. Or
Yeah.
the dinosaur that you loved from the first one. The first dinosaur you saw is now going to be burnt to death on the edge of a shore. Like,
Yeah.
Spoilers,
everybody's
but it's fine.
everybody's crying over that part. And I'm just watching. I'm like, yep, that thing's dead.
I was like, why can't you just take him? Like, just there's room on the boat.
That was really sad. That was a really sad.
Are we gonna
scene.
start seeing? Can we make some memes of like? Because there's those diagrams of Jack and Rose from Titanic on the door. Floating.
Just
It's
have
like
the-
he could have fit. Like it's showing like all these different ways they could have fit, and it's like let's start
It's the
making
ferry.
memes of. Let's make memes of the Brachiosaurus on the ferry.
It's like it could have.
He could have fit.
He could have laid down. He could have stuck his head out the top. It's fine.
Damn it.
Oh, that'd be too good. Nate, the graphics department, get on it.
Yes.
Graphics
R&D.
department.
Let's make it happen.
Nate's good at making the memes.
I need a new logo. Just put it in there. It's fine. Just
Oh my god.
Brachiosaurus in my logo.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, there goes the $70 I spent on a logo.
So we did a thing this past weekend.
Yeah, we did. The whole reason, I mean, not that we didn't already want to get you on the show, but the reason we're here is to talk about this event we attended separately.
Separately, but the same event. Just like it's like we both went to saw movies at a different theater, but it's fine.
Right.
It was all.
Nate chimes in. What was the meme to be made? I missed it. Nate, the meme was there's like all these pictures of like the door from Titanic that Rose is floating on, and how like all the different ways that
Jack could have fit, damn
Jack
it.
could have fit on this door, and they could have both survived, but no, he dies. So we're talking about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and the Brachiosaurus that gets burnt alive by the fucking lava and shit.
Lava.
And it's like, he could have fit on the ferry. So just like make a diagram of like all the different ways the Brachiosaurus could have fit on the ship.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's silly humor.
It could have also like just walked into the water.
Just
Like-
a little bit. Just
Like walked up to the water like it could have went really fucking deep because its head is like 30 feet off of the ground.
It probably
the lava
still
would
would
never
have
have
been.
touched him. Like,
It would have been
it would've-
boiled alive though.
I mean, you just fucking start walking down the beach.
like 400 feet out, where his
Yeah.
head just barely above water. Just.
Who says Oki will start research? Thank you, graphics department.
So anyway, all three of us went and saw Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah, we did.
You and
We
I went
did.
as a birthday celebration for both of us because
Yep.
our birthdays are close together.
When was your birthday?
My birthday was the 29th
And
of October
mine's the 5th.
and the 5th.
November
Oh,
the
nice.
5th.
So Blaine did not attend my birthday celebration at Medieval Times. So
Is there one in Indy?
no,
No.
I went to the one in Schaumburg.
Oh, nice. I've been to that one too. It's nice.
I dig it. I like dinner theater.
It's always fun.
Although the food portions when I was there was like tiny, and I really wanted to just keep eating.
No, and I mean, not only did I get drunk there, but I was thoroughly satisfied with my meal.
That was the first time I ever had ribs.
What?
Yeah.
When did you go? Like
This is like
2004?
5 years ago.
I got basically half a chicken.
Yeah, I got that. I got ribs, half a chicken.
How did you
tomato
get
soup.
anything but half a chicken?
I got
How
tomato
chicken's
soup.
awesome.
Oh, the tomato soup's fantastic.
I had a flagon
A flagon.
of ale. Yeah, that was it. And it was all like really tiny portions, and there was much to be desired.
Oh
How'd you
no!
live your whole life without ribs until then?
Oops.
I've been quite a picky eater for most of my life.
No,
and
you can just say I am quite a picky eater because you still are an
I am
incredibly picky eater.
quite less picky than I was.
Anyway,
Dick just likes the
He's like,
McRib.
"Ugh."
That's all it is.
so anyway, yeah, we all saw Coheed and Cambria.
Yes.
I've been trying to
Nice.
see Coheed and Cambria for a decade, and I finally did it.
I've been trying
Nice.
to see him for a whole year.
There you go. I've seen this. This is my 8th time seeing them live. So yeah.
I'm really jealous, AP, because when I say that I've been trying to see them for a decade, I legitimately mean I have been trying to see them since 2008.
There's a lot of good albums since 2008.
And I have not been able to make one of their shows. So I finally did it. I did it on an affordable level.
Yeah.
And I was thoroughly impressed with their live show.
Mm-hmm. Did you make it in time for any of the opening acts?
We got one song from the Atlas's band.
Yeah, that band was weird.
To be fair, we got there with more than one song, but by the time we got to our standing place, which took a while to get to, there was we were on their last song apparently, and they're like, "Yep, we're done, bye," and we're like, "Ah, cool."
Yeah, the venue we were at, Pierre's in Fort Wayne, was definitely at fucking capacity for people because you could not have fit 2 more people in that fucking place.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was very frustrating because we found a good place to stand, but everyone in front of us was 9 feet tall. So, obviously Blaine and I are both vertically challenged, which is less than ideal. And then,
okay,
so Coheed starts to play, and we weasel up into a good position, and we can see the stage.
And what happens?
A man picks up his probably 4-year-old son and puts him on his shoulders, and then we can't fucking see anything.
Not only that, but the kid has obnoxiously large hearing protection.
Oh god.
Which responsible parent, shitty concert etiquette because we couldn't see a fucking thing.
I mean, I'm glad this kid got a really cool experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was only up there for maybe 1 or 2. I think it was only 1 song.
It was 2 songs in the beginning, and then he came up again towards the end of the set. But we had
already moved.
We had moved again to an even more beneficial position. So,
how was your layout in the venue? Is there a sunken pit, or is it?
Oh, it's all flat, and then there's a raised area that you can pay to get up at.
Yeah, it's all floor space with a balcony.
Yeah.
And there's a bar area towards the back of the general admission.
Which we got yelled at for standing in front of.
Yeah, because it's there's a little narrow strip where you can access the bar, but there's a wall between the floor space, and it's just super narrow
and chaos.
And
oh yeah.
The owner of Pierre's really needs to look into how many tickets they're selling, because there's no way that a fire marshal would have let that fly.
No. Yeah,
is it a smaller venue?
No, yes and no.
I mean, decently small, but still not it's not like coffee shop small by any means.
Right. But it's you can't fit 1,000. Can you fit 1,000 people in there?
It looked like it. There's a lot of fucking people.
I'm saying there was every bit of close to 700 people there.
There was no
between the floor space, the balcony, the people that were kind of stuck in front of the bar and concession areas
that we couldn't stand in front
that
of.
we could not stand in front of, but somehow people magically got to stand in front of them.
Yeah.
There had to be every bit of 700 people in there. The day of the show, that morning, the venue put a post on the event page that said there was less than 100 tickets available at that point. And then 45 minutes before the show, there was less than 30 tickets available. So they almost sold that show out. So,
wow. Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was so bad. So towards the end of the set, we could tell it was kind of waning down. I mean, we just looked at the time and we're like, okay, it's getting there. I looked at Tyler. I'm like, hey, do you want to get heading over to the other side of the venue so that we can, just skedaddle as soon as it's over? Mm-hmm. So we tried.
We could not get out of the crowd.
If a fire would have happened, everyone would have died.
Yes.
Yeah, my whole experience with those pits is that it's a liquid. You create a void, the void fills up. It doesn't work. It just...
Oh yeah, we filled the void quite a few times.
Yes, there was multiple voids created, and we filled them every time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I know we went to the Sylvie up in Madison, Wisconsin, because that was the other place that we're playing. Mm-hmm. But it was a nice venue because they just opened it 2 months ago. So it was all brand new. Everything was really nice. The bathrooms weren't garbage like some venues I've been to, but
Cool.
but like the pit layout, it's a sunken pit, so Liz and I like huddled up in like the back just because it's good seats, and as long as no one like freakishly tall is in front of us, we're good. It's like
We had that.
and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone always rushes forward as soon as the concert starts anyway. But like, there's a group that's at next to us that I think had just on ecstasy because they were talking about it. And like this one girl made out with like 4 different people in her group. I'm like, yeah, we need to move. This is getting weird.
Yes.
I got lightly caressed. I'm like, and we're going this way now. I'm done. Let's
Stop petting me.
Yeah, I was not having it. And I was like, all right, so let's move over here. But we had great seats. It wasn't unbearably hot. And yeah, we got to enjoy the whole show. But
Man, it was unbearably hot where we were at.
Oh yeah, and I was holding my jacket the whole
I
time.
wore a sweatshirt in, and once we got in there and I started sweating, it was glued to me, and I said, I'm fucking doing this. I'm not taking it off.
Yeah.
As opposed to this other guy who was wearing a jacket.
Oh my god, no, not just a jacket, a leather fucking jacket.
A leather jacket
Oh, that's
with his
awful.
hood up.
And yeah, a
Which
hoodie
was-
underneath,
Yeah, hoodie underneath.
flannel underneath that.
Oh yeah, this guy was in survival mode.
He was a fucking champion.
He was in Blizzard survival mode.
He did it. That
Did your
fucker did it.
place have coat check or no?
No,
I think it might, but we just didn't do it.
it did not.
Oh, it didn't.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did not.
It was frigid, but our place had coat check, so we did that. But it was still like, we had to like, all right, there's going to be a crazy line. Let's just, towards the last song, we're just going to like, go over by the table, get our coats, and just watch the last bit of it, and then get the hell out of here. Because every time I've left a concert that's like after the end of the song, it's like, and now we're going to be stuck here forever.
Yes.
As everyone
exactly.
tries to leave.
Yeah, we tried, and we literally could not get to the other side of the venue. Like,
So
we tried more than one route, and we got, like, barricaded in both times.
yeah. So luckily, where we were standing, there was actually an exit, but we didn't know if we could go out that way or not.
It was like the exit right by where their buses were set up.
And
Actually,
so
can I?
we found that out after we left. So we just went ahead and went out that way. And I mean, no one stopped us. No
Just
alarm
get
went
on
off.
their buses. Just be like, hey,
We
what's
thought
up?
about it.
We did talk about it.
There was a bus that was, and we're like, it was the only bus there. So we're like, that's got to be Coheed's. And
Even if it's the other band, it's still fine.
we'll hang out. We're cool. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll do an impromptu podcast. Whatever.
Yee.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that always a good time.
Like,
But
hey,
it was
hey, we're press. Where's your press pass? We don't need it.
yeah.
This.
Actually,
not-
I'm gonna show you actually
This is
something
my
I got from
press
the merch
pass.
table. Hang on one sec.
All right.
So the reason Blaine and I venturing up to the big state of Fort Wayne, the big city of Fort Wayne to see Coheed is so important because I already said I've been trying to see them for a decade, but Blaine has not been really interested in Coheed,
No.
and I have been trying to get him into Coheed for a solid year.
Like I've always.
Did you
I've
see you
always
were a Guitar
enjoyed-
Hero fan of them because you heard Welcome Home on Guitar Hero, and I was like, oh, that's a
That
good
was on
song.
Guitar
And that
Hero.
was
No
big-
shit. I did not know that. No, like I have always liked the song "Welcome Home."
right, it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
And
It's
That's
just-
like their song. They always end every show with, like they leave and they're like, "Come on back and play the song." Like I know you're gonna do it. Just do it.
yeah,
already.
I'm to the point with encores where if I don't hear the house music start playing, I know it's not over yet. So I'm
Right.
just gonna stay where I'm at.
I'm always like, just do it. Like I hate the go out and like, oh, come on back and play the song. Like you do it every time. I've seen this 7 times before. Just don't even. Just do it.
Yeah. No, like it's not the like I okay, so I've always enjoyed Welcome Home, obviously. I've always enjoyed whatever people played Coheed. I've always enjoyed what I heard. I just never wanted to dive in on my own. So now then he's like Tyler's like, "Well, let's listen to the new album on the way up." I'm like, "No, I want to experience it live for the first time."
It's a
All
good
of it.
album. I like their new one.
Yeah.
Well, their new album is actually a combination of 3 things. Unheavenly Creatures is that plus it's Unheavenly Creatures plus the Dark Sentencer plus the other thing that I can't remember right now because I'm talking about it. But
Naturally.
when they teased doing a new album, it was originally just supposed to be the Dark Sentencer.
Right.
And then they basically tripled it, which I was fucking ecstatic about. And on the way back from the show, that would have been a really good time for us to do a podcast because we dove into the Coheed mythos.
Well, yeah, but this new album's going to be a pentology.
Yes.
Which is kind of awesome.
Yep.
Like, I have all of their comic books up to this point, too, that Claudio's done with his wife since they came out. I don't have the stuff they're doing right now, but, like, I got it for Liz for one of our anniversaries. I have a whole box with, like, all of the old comics and the Year of the Black Rainbow book and all that, so...
I'm super fucking jealous because I don't have any of it.
Yeah, but this is what I got at the venue. It's a
nice
opener magnet. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
That's dope.
But yeah,
I should, we should have looked at the merch tape. I mean, we briefly looked at it when we first walked in.
But if we would have waited any longer, we wouldn't have got the spot that we did.
But
the merch was always a crazy long line anyway. Like it's a crapshoot.
I was like looking for little things like that out of merch booth. So
I think I got a koozie too. I was like, it's fine. It's a koozie. It's
right.
good.
Well, I mean, when Miranda and I we went and saw Good Charlotte, like we looked at their merch and all the shirts are cool. I got a shirt, but I got this hat too, which Nate thought was a Misfits hat.
It does kind of look like it from a distance.
It does. I agree. I mean, it's probably modeled after the Misfits.
I was really impressed while we were at the merch table to see things that were affordably priced.
Yeah.
You know, because when we went to the Breaking Benjamin show a couple months ago, they had a flannel that was $131.
Oh, that's awful.
For a flannel fucking shirt.
I've never seen anything like that. That was
like,
nuts.
I mean, they had t-shirts for what, $25? That's
$25.
Yeah.
Which is, I consider a t-shirt $20. If I'm buying any shirt with any kind of imagery on it, I just figure $20 for a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I thought that was pretty reasonable. I was really impressed with their live performance. I knew, Claudio and the rest of the band were all fantastic live performers because I've watched a lot of their stuff, on YouTube or whatever. So I knew that they were great live, but how when you watch a band on TV or the internet and then see them for the first time, like watching it digitally, you can't appreciate like how talented they really are.
Right.
They played In Keeping Secrets about midway through the set, and that's one of my favorite, part one, blah, 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 blah. Every part of that song is some of my favorite stuff that Coheed has done, and just hearing that live for the first time, I mean, it was fucking fantastic.
Well, and you're hearing it with people who, know the words and have been fans of them forever, so, you feel that crowd energy when that song comes on.
That was another
listen
thing.
to it in your car. It's you can't even compare the two.
And I've definitely got that because I've been diving in ever since. But it was really cool feeling and hearing everybody singing along and in tune as well.
Much like Jeremy Renner we talked about earlier, I think Coheed is one of the most underappreciated rock bands,
honestly,
of the modern era because they
definitely.
They have the devout fans like AP and myself and Liz. Nick Maxon is a devout fan of Coheed.
Yep.
But other than us, I mean, you don't hear about them very often because on the way home from the show, you and I talked about how up until their last couple albums, everything that they did had been. How did you put it?
Part of a story.
Part of a story, but you labeled it something, and I can't remember.
Oh, fuck.
But every album, they've told a story.
Concept album.
And that's one of the reasons that I've always really dug Coheed, and even the shit that they did that wasn't concept album.
That non-concept album they did?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, still.
Did they do a song from that on your guys'?
Yes.
The Island?
Yes.
Which is still a really good song. I really enjoy that song.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not my favorite album by any means.
No.
But, I like the band enough that I can appreciate anything that they do at this point. But what I wanted to bring up is Blaine, on the way home, Blaine brought up a really good comparison that Coheed is basically modern-day Rush.
Oh, definitely.
And
I can get behind that.
I really appreciated that. And
sounds just like Geddy Lee.
Yes, I countered with, I totally agree that they are modern day Rush, but I think that they're a better version of Rush.
I agree too.
Because I love Rush, don't get me wrong. I much prefer Claudio's vocals. As
They're almost the same vocals.
they're almost the same, but they're better.
Yeah.
I think they're better.
I think it's just the content's better.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're not in the 1970s anymore, and people are more, I don't know, singing about real shit now. I don't know, but at the same time, he's talking about a story. So
Yeah.
talking about these two characters, and I really want to dive into that story.
Did you ever know that they actually sold the movie rights a long time ago to Mark Wahlberg,
Yes.
and he never developed it. Like they were gonna do like an Amory Wars movie at one point in time, but then it never just got off the ground.
Yep.
That would have been a
Jack.
whole nother thing, but
Yeah, I was always really disappointed that never kind of came to fruition because, in Hollywood today, there's so much money being flung around. I mean, every day, so and so bought the rights to such and such story, and
Right.
this concept was purchased by this production company, and blah 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 blah, and then we never see anything. The money exchanges hands, and then nothing ever happens about it, or it's 20
Yeah, I
years
would-
later.
I would love to see a TV series.
Yeah.
of that.
Oh
Would be
yeah,
kind
that'd
of
be
a-
really cool. I was about to ask. So if we take a movie, say about hour 45 to 2 hours, how many movies could we do with this story?
Oh, they'd have to condense some. 'Cause I know they probably it would be a Game of Thrones type story they could probably play out with the amount of content they've created up to this point. Mm-hmm. Especially because they've jumped forward and backwards in the timeline of their canon they've created. So I could see easily being at bare minimum a trilogy, but they could easily do more than that.
Absolutely. I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Sweet, I'd watch it.
Oh, I
And
definitely
I think it's a good enough story that I think it would appeal to people who aren't just fans of the band. I think the band helps,
Yeah.
but I think you get a good trailer for that, it could be the new sci-fi movie that people would be into, because that's a great story when you get out of the bare bones of it. So
Yeah, most of the stuff I've listened to so far, because all I did was I got on Apple Music and looked up their top songs. Sure enough, "Welcome Home" was the very top one.
Yes.
But
It should be Welcome Home, In Keeping Secrets,
yeah,
Volume 3, Wake Up.
"Wake Up" was actually pretty far down the list.
Really?
really, Wake Up's a good song.
"Love Protocol" was after that.
Okay.
From what I've listened to, which has mostly been stuff from Good Apollo and Unheavenly Creatures, I'm really digging the love story going on.
Yes.
Whatever. There's a lot of love going on, and I really dig it because I'm a sucker for that shit.
Right.
So-
Because you're actually a woman.
Yeah, and their
My
music
secret's
videos are
out.
actually pretty decent too. If you actually go watch the music videos they've created, I like
to
the
check
one
that
for. I can't remember. Liz hates for this, but I'm terrible with with the song titles.
Oh, I
it's
am
the
too.
one from, I think it's from Dissension. With it's either Ascension or Dissension. I remember I got into them really when those two albums came out, and it was the one with whatever it's like Falling Man or the Man from Mars or whatever that plot is. I can't remember what that title is. I'd have to look it up to actually know. But
Yeah, I can't. I'm really bad with song titles too. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Liz already knows the new album, all of the words by heart. I'm like, that's a fan level that I can.
That's unhealthy.
She loves the band. She's the reason I got into them. Is it was one of our first days was going to see them in St. Louis, in East St. Louis. That's dedication.
Right.
See-
Right. You could have died.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's.
it was a super sketchy venue, but yeah, the amount of times we've seen them, we've actually seen the crowd get bigger and bigger. So we've seen as they've gotten more, not mainstream, but as more people have found them and start coming to their shows.
You know,
so
one
it's
thing.
really cool.
One thing that I really appreciate about Claudio, number one, he's such a down to earth guy. They're a down to earth group of guys anyway. But about 3/4 of the way through the show, towards the tail end, he said, I want to thank all the fans for making Unheavenly Creatures what it is right now. But we're going to finish this tour, and then we're going to take some time off, and then 2 or 3 years from now we'll tour again, and that just kind of that mindset of we're gonna level with the fans. You know, we're gonna work on the projects that we want to work on, and then we're gonna take time off and spend time with our families and do the shit that we want to do, and then 3 years from now it'll be all about the fans again. I really appreciate that kind of that stance that they take, because it's not cranking out album after album after album. You know,
and then
going
touring
on
that album and then going back and repeating the cycle.
Yeah, and going on tour every 6 months. You know, going on tour for 6 months and then taking 3 months off and then going on tour for 6 months again, and then just burning everybody out.
Right.
So,
especially because like most of them have like young kids at home that like they want to see grow up. They don't want to be like seeing videos or FaceTime with them for their childhood years.
Yes.
Is it one thing I actually saw that you guys might get a kick out of is that Claudio, and I think it might be his wife or someone else in the band, they actually played D&D on the tour bus between shows.
Yes.
That's great.
I was like, that's awesome. Like, none of the other bandmates are into him. He's like, yeah, I play it with the band manager, and we just... him and, like, another person, like maybe his wife, and they all just hang out and play fun stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'd be all for that. It's going to be boring on that tour bus between those big cities.
So I've got the list here, and I don't know if this is actually like a ranked list and based off of actual statistics, but this is just how the list goes. I assume it is because Welcome Home's on the very fucking top, and you know I can expect that. Anybody can expect that.
Right.
So we got Welcome Home, A Favor House Atlantic, The Suffering, The Dark Sentencer, Unheavenly Creatures, Blood Red Summer, and Keeping Secrets of Silence.
Volume 3.
Yep. The Gutter, Old Flames, Wake Up, 10 Speed of God's Blood.
Old Flames is one of my favorite.
Oh, that's probably my favorite song from the new album.
Toys, Here to Mars, Love Protocol, The Pavilion, Crossing the Frame, It Walks Among Us, The Crowing, Queen of the Dark, You Got Spirit Kid, Devil in Jersey City. Yeah, it just goes on, but it's a lot of Unheavenly Creatures.
It's a lot of their new album. Like, Old Flames is great. Yeah, they're all good. Here's to Mars is also a good one. And then there's one off the new album that was also like, You Got Spirit Kid's also a pretty fun throwback style song from their non-concept album. I
need to actually get some of these CDs, and I
have all of them in my car. Like,
very nice.
AP Burn Blaine the entire discography.
God, when's the last time I make someone like I'm just make him a mix CD?
Make him a fucking mixtape.
Make me a playlist.
Oh shit!
No, I think I recently saw a thing, or I recently listened to a podcast or something. I think it was like Rooster Teeth or somewhere. They're talking about the concept of like kids these days just don't understand burning CDs.
Oh yeah,
it's like what
buying like the giant like stack of
oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
You gotta get the CDRW. If you're not doing the CDRW, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Like, gotta rewrite that thing.
CDRW minus. Those are the best.
Oh man.
I learned that from my uncle.
Like think about that though. Like every one of us, think about the amount of time, like when you were burning CDs. The number one, the amount of time that it took to burn a CD, but when you made like fucking mixed CDs for like your friends or like the fucking girls,
you could
that
fit
you
like 20 songs on there.
The girls that you were trying to get in their pants, like you put forth a lot of fucking effort. At least I did. I mean, I poured my fucking heart and soul into that shit.
Oh yeah.
You gotta make sure to put it in the little case you had strapped to the visor of your car.
Yeah.
So I can pull this whenever I need it, hands free.
I had one of those.
I still have mine in my pickup.
I got a 500 disc book, which it has been eclipsed since then, but it's still got all the CDs I originally put in it, completely filled to capacity plus more, and like
all the songs you downloaded from LimeWire.
There might be a few. I think by the time I got that, definitely by the time I got that, I moved on to torrents, but. There's a bunch of my mixed CDs from high school when I first got my license and shit, and like I have just looking at the titles I would give them, like I think I named one "This CD's Cooler Than Your Grandma," and then I got one that's like straight up got my license, I made that CD just so I could put it in my dad's car because he had a CD player and mine didn't. So I also couldn't drive my car yet because I didn't have plates for it. But yeah, so I just burned a CD called "Got My License," and it just had all the songs I wanted to listen to at the time.
Oh man,
good stuff.
You ever go back and listen to your old mix CDs?
Oh, I have.
And it's like fucking.
It takes me the fuck back.
It's like Kids Bop Volume 5. Like, that's how I feel about a lot of the CDs that I made. Like,
oh no, I jam
it's getting
'em.
hot in here. This fucking takes me back to 2001 or 2002.
I jam them because I was still I'm still listening to a lot of stuff I was listening to then. So it's just like it's like same style, just different stuff.
I found a lot of Sybil playing from back then. I was like,
Yep,
oh yeah.
yep.
Wow.
That was
man.
supposed to be Blaine and I's first date, and it ended up being Miranda in my place.
Yeah, it ended up being Miranda and I's third date.
Did you go see them in concert?
Yeah, they played for free here at Purdue.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Liz and I saw them,
pretty cool,
I think
actually.
in Milwaukee. They did their, it was like a throwback to their, whatever, that No Pads, No Helmets album. Mm-hmm. I was like, so they played that whole album straight through, and I'm like, this is all stuff I still remember. This is awesome.
Fucking hits you right in the feels.
See, I didn't know much, except for the radio hits. I didn't know much of their stuff.
Oh yeah.
I never
Started
got
blasting
into
in
them.
my car, just.
Yeah, when I got my license, I was listening to like a lot of Lamb of God, Moto Grader, and stuff like that. Godsmack.
Put some Creed on there. No.
There was some Creed on there. Creed and Metallica.
I still have all of my original Creed CDs that I bought.
I as well.
Um,
I as well.
Just some Silver Side Up in there.
I have Silver Side Up in my collection. I also have Hadaway. What is Love?
Oh gosh.
I used to have a lot of Blink 182.
I have their self-titled CD. That's it.
I had, well, I mean, obviously, like up until 2008, I pretty much had everything that they had done up until 2008.
I'm one of those people that if I see a CD that's absolutely ridiculous, that it's gonna make people, if they see it in my collection, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I will get it. Like that's why I
Britney
got
Spears, "Oops, I Did It Again," the album in your collection.
Like some Queensryche,
I did not get any Queensryche, but that's why I got
some
Hadaway.
Deftones.
That's why I got Hadaway. Oh, I like Deftones a
No,
little
I do
bit.
too.
But that's why I got Hadaway, because it's like anybody that knows Hadaway only knows the one song, "What Is Love,"
Right.
and I got the whole fucking CD.
Nice.
So
True
Had a
story.
little-
I had a case that had all the CDs I ever owned at one point. One of them, I had the Pokemon soundtrack.
I
for, like, the
fucking
first
still
movie.
have that.
nice. Nice segue also, because we got the trailer for Detective Pikachu yesterday.
How do you guys feel about that?
I was surprised that I liked it, to be honest. Like, I was not expecting to enjoy it. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this isn't... I wasn't... The Ryan Reynolds part, I was like, oh, this... Okay.
Let me delve into what I thought.
Real quick, I just have a couple things, like real quick.
Go for it.
The whole time I was watching the trailer, I wasn't doing it consciously. It was just happening. I was comparing Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu to Bradley Cooper Rocket Raccoon.
Oh,
Just
Go on.
naturally, I was comparing that, which made me a little bit weary of Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu. I also don't like, at first glance, don't like the main character. The main human.
Human.
was it
Human.
Justice something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
his name?
I wasn't really feeling his vibe. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna see it, and my opinion's gonna change, maybe. But from what I saw of the Pokemon, I mean, never did I think I was gonna get a live-action Pokemon film.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know Detective Pikachu was gonna be a thing until this morning when I saw it. So I'm very optimistic.
I remember
That's all I'm gonna say.
years ago, College Humor put out like a really dark, gritty live action Pokemon trailer.
The really graphic, like,
Yeah.
beating up Pokemon. Yeah, I was like, I wanted that movie. But, like, I got vibes from that, how the realistic looking Pokemon in this.
Mm-hmm.
So I still kinda
Somebody
wanted
was
the dark
complaining
movie.
about like the way they looked. I'm like, what do you want? Fucking Nintendo 64 graphics?
Yes.
Like, come on.
I remember people were upset about the fact that Jigglypuff had hair. I'm like, was that going to be a weird skin blob that was like on front of her head, like that curly Q? No, it's a skin blob. Like weird growth.
I'm really glad he was comparing it to Rocket Raccoon because the entire time I watched the trailer, all I could think was Ted.
I did.
But it's basically Ted in the Pokemon universe with Ryan Reynolds instead of Seth MacFarlane. So it's immediately better. Like, it's not just fucking fart jokes nonstop. So, like, I think this will actually be good. Don't get me wrong. I found Ted funny.
The first Ted was funny. The second Ted
I didn't
was
see
terrible.
the second Ted. I'm also not a Family Guy fan. I do like Seth MacFarlane, but I am not a Family Guy fan.
Did you watch the Orville?
No, I haven't. I've watched a little bit.
Actually, really funny.
I've watched a little bit of it because Joe watched it a little bit. My landlord roommate, and he watched a little bit of it. I got to see some clips. It didn't look half bad. But
Have you watched A Million Ways to Die in the West?
No, I haven't. I wanted to because Liam Neeson.
That is some of the best stuff that Seth MacFarlane has ever done, in my opinion.
Awesome.
I thought it was very, very funny.
And you got Charlize Theron and Liam Neeson in that movie. Like, that's all. It's all good.
Yeah, you've got Liam Neeson.
I love Liam Neeson.
Seth MacFarlane being funny, and Charlize Theron, and what the fuck's her name from Amanda Seyfried is also in that film.
Yeah,
Nice.
I totally forgot about her.
And Doogie Howser himself,
Neil Patrick Harris. NPH.
Oh.
Anyway,
Westerns.
continue.
And if you ever wanted to see Liam Neeson's bare ass, it's also in that movie.
Yes.
Perfect. Everything I want, right there.
I mean, I'd like to at least see maybe some ball, but
Just
bare
ball.
ass,
Just ball.
just ball, just bare ass is good enough. So you are also very optimistic about
I'm
the film.
very on board with this. Like it's very. I mean, they had a bunch of different. I'm excited to see how many different Pokemon are in this movie.
Well, we know how many we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean,
There was Bulbasaur,
there's Greninja,
Psyduck, Greninja, Pikachu,
The Charizard looked awesome.
Jigglypuff,
Yeah.
Charizard. That was 6.
I saw a Charmander.
What was the one at the very end that was not from the 151? Or the original 150, whatever.
Probably Greninja.
The one flying through the air with the bubbles.
I didn't recognize that.
Yeah, that
one.
was
Threw me
Greninja.
off. I wonder how they're going to stop it. I just love the fact that it's not everyone's a Pokemon trainer. He's just like, you got a normal job, and there's so many Pokemon everywhere. Okay, cool.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and that exists in the games,
Right.
but it's just
People have...
in the TV show. It's like that's all the people are is trainers, basically.
Yes.
Every 10-year-old went off on their own and just found life.
Yeah.
If only that could be our life.
I still think Professor Oak just wanted to nail Ash's mom, so he's like, "Hey, here's a Pokemon, go away."
And he fucking hated Gary, so he sent Gary off on his own.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, Gary, you little cocksucker.
I still remember my great cool discussion of like, are there regular animals in the Pokemon universe? They just like eating like tourist burgers and all that stuff. I'm like, having
It's the darker side of Pokemon no one really thinks about. Slowpoke tails. If you play Gold and Silver.
Q-Poke. Or fucking Q-Poke.
Cubone?
Cubone. You said Slowpoke, right, when I was thinking of Cubone. Cubone.
I need to insert like, because you remember those like Pokemon like fusion generators? And like
Cubone and
Slowpoke. Dude, there were some really fucking cool ones. My favorite one was Slowchoke. So it was Slowpoke and Machoke. And it just like, all it did was interchange their faces. And it's like, Slowpoke or Slowchoke only dreams now. Shh. I'll post that sometime. That was some good shit.
Man, but there was, I mean, this is a really good segue because I want to talk about Pokemon for a minute.
Yeah.
Like as, you know, those damn pocket demons ruin our youth's minds,
Yeah, totally.
turning them to gravy and evil people. Like there were some really good stories told.
Yeah.
Like through the game, through you know, the anime and the manga. There is a lot of really good stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, fucking seeing Cubone's story.
Yeah.
Like in the original games, like fuck, Pokemon can die, man. Like when I was a little kid, like that hit me right in the feels. And then when you see, like in the TV show, when you meet the ghosts for the first time,
Yeah.
they were just really cool ghost Pokemon that Ash needed to fucking defeat the Psychic Gym.
Yeah.
Because Abracadabra and Alakazam are fucking Ash up. And then now, if you go back and look, it's like, what were these ghost Pokemon originally? And you realize that Gengar is actually a fucking Clefable.
Yeah, it's a shadow of Clefable.
Yeah, like that hits you in the feels. Because again, Pokemon can die, man.
Well, going back, okay, so a couple weeks ago when we had Matt on, we were talking about the myths that, like...
Oh, the episode that I was sick?
Yeah.
Or when my back was fucked up?
Yeah. He talks about, like, all these, like, myths in the Pokemon canon that fans have kind of created. One of the things was, like, when you get to Lavender Town in Red and Blue or Yellow, Gary, or your rival Blue, he's actually mourning the loss of his Raticate. He had Eradicate the last time you fought him, so it's insinuated the damage you inflicted upon the Raticate was so much that it kills it.
Damn.
Yeah,
Savage!
it's like,
It goes dark.
fuck.
Didn't just faint, he died.
Yeah.
Like, don't you feel awful?
He fucking died.
You gave that motherfucker an aneurysm.
Should he?
What's they showed that little like meme of like taking your Pokemon to the nurse and like it's just was it Clefairy? Not Clefairy.
Clefable.
The one just takes them to an incinerator, just drops the balls in, and then go gets new ones, and then gives them back to you.
Oh, that's Chansey. Chansey, the one with the
Chansey.
fucking egg.
Yeah.
Creepy
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
Pokemon.
Chansey. It's just like they're all dead.
There you go.
Damn.
Fuck, I don't have a goddamn Diglett.
Diglett dick.
I'd be-
If you were a Pokemon, you would be a Diglett.
I would not.
You would be a
I would
Diglett.
not.
You would be a fucking Diglett.
No.
He'd be a Doug Trio.
Okay,
Come on.
that's
No.
You would be
I
a
mean,
fucking
they're
Diglett.
assholes in the later games because they have this. When they added abilities into the game, Diglett and Dugtrio had this ability called Arena Trap, which made it so you couldn't run. Sometimes you couldn't run away from the battle. So you're like, God damn it! I actually have to fight this fucking thing.
You gonna die.
And then it's like magnitude. Oh, it used magnitude 7. Dead. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, Diglett, Dugtrio, Magnemite. I mean, they always pissed me off. Fucking Grimer always pissed me off.
Oh yeah.
Like, go fuck away,
Muck.
Grimer.
The fucking fodder Pokemon that are just nothing.
God.
It's like, but they appear like a million times.
I loved that episode though in the original anime when fucking Ash and the gang fought all the Grimers and the Magnemites.
And then it's like all the Grimers are like, Muck. And Muck was like just always flipping you off. Like, what's up with that? Like, he's just like, fuck y'all.
I just love when they actually realized the fact how many Pokemon Ash had catched. And they're like, Professor Oak just has all of them on this big scrap of land.
Yeah. And
Remember those 40 Tauros you caught? Yeah, they're all right here. Like,
yes.
why did you do this? And then,
Why did you do
it was-
Why you do this?
Why you do this?
It always made me really sad when Ash gave a Pokemon away.
Yeah.
Like, it was really satisfying, but at the same time, it was really fucking
The
sad.
one I hated the most.
Butterfree? Butterfree.
Oh, I didn't care about Butterfree. I always hated Butterfree. But the one that like made
I was
me
a Beedrill man myself.
Pidgeotto, or when it evolved into Pidgeot, and then he just like, all right, bye. I'm like, what? Pidgeot's such a badass Pokemon.
Bye. You know what always pissed me off about the show?
Huh?
You know the one where he goes to the fucking like Pokemon Circus gym, and he's fighting that guy with the fucking sand shrew,
Yeah.
and he's making the sand shrew like fucking dive into water and shit. He's torturing it, and then Ash isn't like, "Come on, sand shrew, I'll take care of you," and the sand shrew basically tells him to fuck off. It's like, no, you rescue that little critter. It needs your help.
Ash
God.
is the biggest piece of shit ever, and like there are videos on like explaining how Ash is just the giant asshole throughout the entire
when
series.
he gets fucking manky,
Yeah.
and then just see you later.
Fucking, and when he gave up Charizard, that bummed me out too.
You think
Oh, yeah.
so? Not
Like
all.
Charizard Mountain
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, just,
And you know, Charizard was such a dickhead the entire series, but it was funny.
Like
the
to be honest, like
squirrels with sunglasses.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, though, like, all the Pokemon that he got from the original 3 were all dickheads. Like, Bulbasaur was a dick. Squirtle was a super dick because there was the fucking Squirtle gang.
Squirtle Squad.
Squirtle Squad. And then fucking Charmander was a dick, too, because, like, his fucking owner was leaving him to die.
Charmander was not a dick. When he evolved into Charmeleon, that's when he became a dick.
No, at the beginning of Ash taking care of Charmander, Charmander was also being a dick. He was a fucking dick all the way through.
I don't believe so.
Charmeleon was my favorite Pokemon of the original 150.
I like Charmeleon.
AP, what was your favorite of the original 150?
Oh.
Are you a Hitmonchan or a Hitmonlee?
Oh, God. Probably Hitmonchan.
Oh, damn it.
I'm gonna have to go. I don't know. Like,
I was
never,
always a Hitmonlee, man.
I never used either of them
because he was such a creepy fucking guy.
I can't. I have a hard time picking.
You
my
look like a
favorite.
pseudo-Wudo guy to me.
He's not 150.
Or a far-fetched guy. I'm
Okay.
just talking general
Okay, in
now
general.
at this point. Like,
far-fetched
you look
guy.
like a far-fetched guy to me, or a Wabagong guy.
Wabagong?
Wabagong.
Wabafet?
Wabafet.
Wabagong.
Yeah, but
Wow.
where did they get the name from? The animal Wabagong.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a different version of a manatee.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always liked coughing. Coughing was always a fun
You know,
guy.
that makes sense.
AP,
I can see that.
AP getting out of the box with coughing.
I can see that. Like, it just makes sense. I don't know why, but it just does. I can see
I
it.
liked Team Rocket's Pokemon, especially like when they evolved into
Wheezing.
Was it Wheezing and
Arbok.
Oh, what was the evolution of Ekans?
Arbok.
Arbok.
Cobra.
Just like, they're so happy. They're like, oh, they're all crying. Like, what's happening?
I was a big Ekans Arbok fan.
Yeah.
Like,
I
not
liked
only did I
Ekans.
want to nail Jesse, but I almost said,
You
no,
about said James.
But no.
Jesse or whatever.
But like I always dug fucking Ekans and Wobbuffet. Like
Yeah.
like Wobbuffet's antics, like,
Wobbuffet.
oh, you crazy Wobbuffet.
Wabafet would just pop up out of nowhere like, Wabafet!
I
Yeah.
forget, like, did they... I don't know how they ended up with Wobbuffet. I forgot that whole... How he ended up with that group.
Didn't they get him out of like a fucking vending machine?
No, they traded her Lickitung
Yes.
for the Wabafet.
Yes.
Oh,
Thinking,
Lickitung.
thinking it would be like worth something, and it never worked. But although Wobbuffet can be a very effective Pokemon if
Yes.
used right, just
Man,
does nothing but
It's almost
counter.
like...
It's sad that Jesse gave up Lickitung.
I liked Lickitung. So happy.
Always so happy.
I was just like, Team Rocket's bouncing off again. Wobbuffet!
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it, Wobbuffet. What are you doing?
Like, so not only was Professor Oak nailing Ash's mom, but do you think Mr. Mime was getting in on that action too?
Oh man.
I think this is my fucked up head. I think people were fucking Pokemon. Like,
What about
seriously.
Jinx? Jinx over there?
Yes.
Just like-
Like, somebody's getting that Nicki Minaj action with Jinx.
Oh, God.
There's also fucking weird people fucking ponytails and shit. You don't know what's happening. Like, it's just chaos all
Oh
over.
my god. If I had to pick, I would definitely go with Pidgeot.
You're a Pidgeot guy?
I'm a
You're gonna
Pidgeot
have
guy.
sex with a Pidgeot?
No, my
I was
favorite.
going for it. I was like, what?
It's either Pidgeot or Dragonair. Like, I love Dragonair.
Lapras
was
was
his,
cool. I thought
what was
Lapras
the-
was cool.
What was the pre-evolution of Dragonair?
Dratini.
Dratini.
And then and eventually evolves into Dragonite, which it's funny because, okay, so you got Magikarp into Gyarados, which makes no sense unless you look at, like, Japanese lore, the koi swimming up the waterfall and reaching its full potential and turning into a dragon.
Right.
But then there's Dratini, Dragonair, and then Dragonite, which just doesn't make sense. Dragonair evolving into Gyarados would make more sense. And then Magikarp into Dragonite because they both have like the little whisker antenna things.
Yeah.
And it's just like they got flipped around and it's like, what the fuck happened here?
Actually, I really liked Onyx. Going
Onyx
back
is cool.
thinking on it. Onyx was awesome.
Steelix was
I
cool.
liked him. I actually liked him on the show too.
Steelix was cool, but Steelix was like terrible.
Yes.
Terrible fucking Pokemon.
I liked Golem. Golem was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Giant, just ball of mean.
Ball of mean.
Yeah. Like, think about how fucking intimidating of a creature Golem would be.
Yeah. If we're going up to the 251, I'm going to have to go with fucking Typhlosion or Feraligatr.
Feraligatr was cool.
I called him Brutaligator.
Totodile. That was the
Totodile was badass.
That was the first Pokemon that I got to level 100 in Silver, Gold, and Crystal.
You know, I would have to say that too.
Gold.
Blastoise was my first one in Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Pidgeot was mine. Actually,
What
no,
was
I got him
your-
up to 81. That was the highest Pokemon I had.
What colors did you have?
My first Pokemon game was Yellow, and
Same.
then I got Blue after that. I bought it for like $3 off of a kid that I scammed, and then I basically stole my Red from a kid. I traded him like 2 junk Yu-Gi-Oh cards for it. So then I had all 3 of those, and then I got Silver for my birthday after that. I scammed another kid out of Gold, and then, in my opinion, the Gold standard, the best Pokemon game ever made, Crystal, I got from somebody for free at a garage sale.
Damn.
So
I got out after Gold. Gold was my last Pokemon game I
man.
had.
Crystal was the last one that I played.
Emerald. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Great
Oh,
fucking
you
games.
went that far.
Oh, I went farther than that. The last game I played was technically the last game I played was the remake of Ruby and Sapphire, but
they remade Ruby and Sapphire?
yeah, for 3DS. But the last game
Didn't they go like Black and White or something?
yeah, I played those.
More recently?
And then I did X and Y too.
I did Black and White 2, which sucked. That was terrible. I never finished it. I didn't even finish. I got Pokemon Y. That was the last original story I played, and I didn't finish it. I got to the flagship Pokemon of the game, Evital, caught him. I think I did the next gym, and then I stopped playing. Which the next gym was the last gym. I just didn't want to play anymore. I was
Right.
like, I've accomplished what I set out to do, which was catch Evital.
So
Nice.
the whole
I don't
the
know.
whole reason I segued from Detective Pikachu, Blaine and I are both going to get a Nintendo Switch, like soon-ish. Not soon, not later, soon-ish. It's when we decide to do it. Probably around Christmas time, I would imagine,
Yeah.
for both of us. We'll both be diving balls deep, like Mr. Mime into Ash's mom, with Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Are you going to pick that up, AP?
I don't have a Switch. I think the next game I'm probably going to get is probably Odyssey.
Cool.
I still have my Xbox One. Actually, you know, I really want to find a see-through purple Game Boy Color just so I can get an old classic Pokemon game. But
That's mine.
I don't know.
The first Game Boy that I ever got was the see-through purple Game Boy Color, and I still have it.
I made the mistake of trading it in to GameStop like 10 years ago or more. Should have just kept it.
Yeah.
Should have just put it in a box and forgot about it.
Yeah.
I got like nothing for it.
Yeah, I got the original Game Boy, the big gray brick. Like,
Oh, with the green screen?
yeah, for free from I think from my stepmom. And then shortly after that, for my birthday, all of my friends were getting Game Boy Colors. So my grandma took me to Toys R Us, and I picked the one I wanted out, and it was the purple see-through Game Boy Color. And still to this day, I have it. I got one of those little carrying cases for it, you know, with like the little strap. It's the Pokemon Yellow Pikachu version or edition of that carrying case. I still have it in that. I still bring it out and play it every now and then just to make sure it works.
I remember I had all this stuff where I had like the Rumble set where you hook up to the back of it,
Yep.
that had the handles.
Oh, yeah.
I had
The light.
the lights. I remember being really cool. Like one of our friends had the printer.
Yeah.
You could print whatever out of it. I really wish I'd have kept that. That would have been a fun thing to revisit.
That's still to this day for me. That is one of the coolest, like, just anything electronic that I've ever bought. I mean, because I still have that nostalgia. Like every time I break it out of the little carrying case, like just looking at, like at the time, the level of detail that Nintendo put forth, or put into that project. Like all of the electronics on the inside of that thing are just meticulous and perfectly done. Nothing is out of place. Like still to this day, that is one of the coolest things I've ever bought. Electronically anyway.
Right. That's one thing. That's the same reason I got like the Super Purple N64 controller. It was just like I loved how detail-oriented they were back then. Now everything's so crammed into a box and so computerized, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're not going to see it anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Blaine and I's plan anyway. We're gonna pick. Both of us are gonna get our Switch. Like,
doesn't that new Pokemon game? Doesn't it? It ties into the Pokemon Go app, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you can basically transfer the Pokemon over,
but you can't use them.
You got to catch them again.
Yeah.
You can use them.
Do I still have my Pokemon Go?
Yeah,
app?
but
I remember when, like everyone
your
played
Pokemon
it.
Go, all your Pokemon Go Pokemon just end up in a little like ranch.
Oh, like Ash's Pokemon.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like that.
Okay.
I still have my Pokemon Go app. Gotta love it.
Me too. I recently started playing, but they recently released all the Sinnoh Pokemon from like Diamond and Pearl, and I haven't.
Yeah, it's like 3 generations now, or three levels.
This is the 4th.
4?
But I never played Diamond and Pearl, so I don't know any of those Pokemon except for
I liked it
Garchomp.
better was just the 150. I was like, yeah, I know all these. This is nostalgia. Now it's like, why am I catching you? What are you? Why are you an acorn? Why are you
an ice cream cone?
Yeah.
They literally made a Pokemon that's based off of trash, and it's called Trubbish.
Yes.
It is
Like,
trash.
I remember like the whole logic was like, in all these generations, we only found these 150 Pokemon, and then like in the 30 years since, they've found hundreds and hundreds more. You're like, oh, okay. So just any inanimate object with googly eyes now is a Pokemon.
Yes.
All right.
Accurate.
Well, remember, what was the fucking one that was all letters? Uno?
Oh, the Unknowns?
Unknowns. Thank you.
We're trying to collect all of them to get the whole alphabet
like-
going.
I did it.
Like, they are literally just letters.
Once you collect all
Eyes.
of them, one of the scientists in the things next to the ruins, he's like, "Oh my god, you collected all of them." AP's gone.
He left us.
He left us. Like all of them. The guy's like, "Oh my god, you collected all of them. You can use this thing now," and it's a printer, and that you connected your Game Boy printer to it, which I never got. And all you did was make stickers.
We just talked about that.
Oh.
We just talked about the Game Boy printer.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
not like this.
That's so funny that like
Not like this.
that's so funny that I bring it up like in a completely different way.
Yes.
Though, like we still make it back to that point.
So would you say that realistically, like the 1st of January, you and I would both have a Nintendo Switch playing Let's Go Pikachu?
I mean, more than likely.
Like I think that's a reasonable time frame.
I think I'm definitely still going to try to get it Black Friday. Miranda looked up, and there's like no deals going on for the Switch on Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I figured maybe at least there'd be bundles, but she said no. She didn't see any. But
Yeah, the Black Friday deals, from what I've seen, are pretty slim, if any.
I did.
Do what?
Oh, I saw one that was really tempting that I know I'm not going to get it just because I don't have the money for that right now. Was that you can get a PS4 Spider-Man bundle for $200?
Oh shit!
I was like, oh,
it's actually not bad.
that's not bad.
It's not
For
bad at
a
all.
1 terabyte PS4. I was like, all right.
That's actually really badass, I think, because I think regular PS4 is like $300.
$229.
Oh, it's $229. Okay. I mean,
So
but,
you're getting it a little cheaper plus throwing in Spider-Man.
yeah,
so
exactly.
It was like, and I really wanted to play Spider-Man. I was like, I don't think I have. Like, I barely play video games now as it is. Do I really need another console?
Right.
Blows my mind that the PS4 is now 5 years old. Wow.
Are they gonna make a PS5 in the next? Like, usually it was like
Next year.
a 3-year cycle or a
No,
5-year
they're
cycle.
normally 6 to 10 year cycles.
Yeah.
Really? What was the difference between what was the time between 360 and the one? Was it 6 years?
Oh, fuck. It was a while.
2006 to 2013.
Yeah.
Really? It was that long?
Yeah,
7 years.
7 years?
13 had the Xbox One and PS4.
They always seem to time it just so they both come out at the same time, because no one wants to lose out on the new gen business.
Yeah, the console wars are a real thing.
Yes.
It's like the Wii. It's like the Wii U at the same time. I was like, what's like the Wii U? Just I feel like didn't really take off.
No, it didn't. Not like the Wii did.
I like my Wii U though.
I really enjoyed my Wii U
I played the shit out
until
of
I
it.
sold it to Nick Maxon.
I still have mine.
He still has his. And he still has mine. He also has my old TV. He has a lot of my old stuff.
Like a portable Nintendo, like a whatever that evolved from the Game Boy. I know the Switch kind of is portable, but I don't know what if they make like a 3DS 7 or whatever they're doing now.
I don't know. No, they're still doing. They're still doing the DS.
pocket.
Yeah, they're doing the DS. They're phasing out the 3DS. Eventually, it's just going to be the Switch.
Yeah, if they were smart, that's what it'd be. But they can still make money off the 3DS, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
The Switch just it's just looking at it always reminds me of like when they made the Vita, the PS Vita,
Yeah.
whatever that was,
Yeah.
with the separate like you could buy movies and video games, a lot of those little cartridges. I was like, okay,
Yeah, with the PSP did that too. The UMDs.
oh yeah,
I had Lords of Dogtown. It came with my PSP. ATV Off-Road
PSP,
Fury as
yeah.
well.
Nice. Classic.
I got the PSP just so I could play Monster Hunter again.
Most of my friends got the PSP just so they could put porn on it.
I did that as well. I was actually talking to Cameron about that yesterday. How like we were going through like our history of porn, and it started off with like when was the first when did you realize you could masturbate?
oh god.
I started looking at porn in like 98.
Oh yeah, I started looking at porn way before that because like I'd always like just somehow manage to find my dad's like Playboys.
Tits. Dicks.
But no,
My
we
brother
eventually
had a-
went on to like. I eventually mentioned like how like I got a PSP and like and then I also found this program that allowed me to convert videos into PSP format. So of course like I had porn that I downloaded off of LimeWire. And I was like, all right, I can take my porn to go.
We used to like when we would go to like wrestling tournaments and shit like out of town, like big like
Would one of you have a PSP and like you just put it in the center and have like a circle jerker?
No, we wouldn't actually jerk off, but we would watch porn all the way there and all the way home.
Nice. I see it,
Nice.
kitty. Is that
There was a cat.
Is that the cat of
that
our
doesn't
existence?
like me be interrupting. It's one of them.
It's the cat of our
Just hanging
existence.
out.
All of them.
All of them.
My cat of my existence is out there somewhere.
Yeah. If I was in the office, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I'm just chilling in the kitchen. I was like, I don't feel like going
I
into a
got
back
you.
room.
I
It's
got
fine.
you.
So I'm out of like random topics now.
Oh, did you see the fact they're making another Toy Story movie?
Yeah. I didn't
Yes.
see the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer.
I have not watched the
There was
trailer
two
yet.
trailers since then.
Oh.
There's been one came out today with Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
Yes.
They're in that movie.
Yes.
Playing like
Ducky.
county fair prizes or whatever.
Yeah, one's playing like a duck, and I don't remember what the other one's playing.
It's like a bunny or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And it's basically like it looks like they're just animated one of those Keegan-Michael Key sketches about being hyped for something. They were hyping the trailer. It sounded like. I was like, what
Nice.
in the world is happening?
Nice.
And then they made fun of Buzz Lightyear for saying to infinity, you can't go to infinity. Like, what are you talking about? You're insane. And just like joking about that he was crazy. It's like, oh, okay.
I need to check this out. Like, I love Toy Story.
Did you see the trailer? The weird like circle spinning thing?
No, I started watching that. I'm like, no, I'll watch that later, and I just never did.
Like it's not even like there's no like talking of it except
It's,
for like
it's
the
just a
fact there's
teaser.
like
It's just a teaser
there's like
saying,
a
hey,
spork.
this is
And
happening.
I've always been curious about that whole like if you just put a face on an inanimate object, does it become to life in that world? And apparently that's the case. You just need to give it eyes and appendages.
Like Pokemon.
Like Pokemon.
I still think Mr. Mime's nailing Ash's mom.
Did you like the Mr. Mime and the Detective Pikachu
Yeah, it was humorous.
trailer?
And, you know, the whole Pikachu saying, I'm going bad cop now, and just tackles the invisible barrier.
Yes.
I see that going differently. Like,
Just electrocute him.
Just
I love how at the very
Pika-Pee.
beginning,
No one else can
Pikachu's
hear me.
like, I know you can't understand me, but if you come any closer with that, I'm going to electrocute you. And he's like, what did you just say? What?
you can hear me. I'm so lonely.
I've been so lonely.
So lonely. Yeah, that was some good stuff.
I like they threw in like classic Pikachu voice, like when it's like,
Oh,
can you hear
yeah.
what he's saying? Yeah, Pika Pika. Like, no, god damn it, they can't hear me. It's fine.
Like, I told you, no one can hear me.
Do you think we're...
And I remember.
Go ahead.
Oh, go on.
Do you think we're going to see Pikachu have sex?
No.
Damn it.
With another Pikachu.
Just with
Evolve.
anything.
I remember the biggest thing I thought was like, well, now in Deadpool 3 they can joke about the fact that Ryan Reynolds voiced Pikachu in a movie.
Yes.
Like, that's
Oh, yeah.
Pika Pool.
That'd be great.
Pikachu.
I've seen that. That's an actual, like, image out
Yeah,
there somewhere.
I saw it today. So I'm interested to see, on a more serious note, or hear how you feel about our recent elections. AP.
This is all you. This is all you guys.
It wasn't. I don't think it's what anyone. Like, every side got a little something out of it, I think. Like, it wasn't like what everyone said it was going to happen. It was like, oh, it's going to be a blue wave. It's like, no, it's going to be a trickle at best. Like, all the big elections, we were like, oh, they were going to go, like, they're either was really close and then lost, or they're still in recounts, which is, it's Florida, so it's going to be recounts.
Right.
I have no idea what this. I think, like, Thursday
It's like their
it's supposed to
thing.
be finalized or whatever. I don't know.
That's Florida's
I did the whole
thing.
thing on it. Like, I wasn't following the big races outside of Illinois, and I was like, I can't vote for him. I'm not really going to pay that much attention to him.
Right.
Like, I know that Ted Cruz, Beto O'Rourke thing was like all that everyone was talking about. I'm like, I get it. They just want to get Ted Cruz out of office, but
He is the
I don't know if
Zodiac
he's the
killer.
guy. What?
Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer.
More importantly, he's the guitarist from Stryper.
Yes. He's,
Why not both?
he's at a
Why
very
not both?
he's at a very diverse portfolio. I mean, so this is the first election that I voted in that I have voted primarily Democrat. Mm-hmm. You know, you and I had the discussion the last time that I was on, or a couple months ago when I was on your show, and I said, now with my recent career change, I'm having to, kind of reevaluate my political stances and to change, to modify some viewpoints. And I heard someone here recently say the phrase, vote with your job and lobby for everything else. And that kind of hit home with me because, I mean, it was the first time that someone had said, the way that you vote, or the way that you are going to vote today might not be the way that you would normally vote, but in the long run, we can get what we need, and then we can fight for more than that. So I voted primarily Democrat in this recent election. I'm not a big Joe Donnelly fan, but I was actually surprised that enough of our state bought into the high school slander campaigns that Mike Braun had done here in Indiana. All those campy, annoying commercials that...
Oh, yeah. I got all that with the Illinois governor race was all I saw for, like, the past 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Like, on Hulu, it was, like, the same commercial. Every commercial break, I was like, God, I hate both of you right now. I
Yeah.
just want to vote for one of you so I can stop seeing these.
Right. So I was a little bit disappointed that somehow Mike Braun edged out Joe Donnelly, but I'm actually pretty content with the way that Indiana's elections anyway went, because other than the Ted and Beto stuff, I haven't really followed anything else other than Indiana, because like you said, I'm not going to be able to vote for him. So
Right. It's like all those like celebrities like coming out and endorsing. I'm like, you're endorsing people that I know it's a state, it's a senator, okay, but like it's just one senator out of hundreds.
Yes.
That, like make the local changes. Like those like county board and the city positions are the ones that actually will affect your day-to-day life more than a U.S. representative
right.
from your area. But like I voted predominantly Democratic on this one as well. There was a few that wasn't just like people I had checked out. They're like, oh yeah, that's not bad. But actually, like the case of like someone electioneering like right outside my polling place, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's 6 a.m. Like, go do other things right now.
Yeah, I saw that post.
You're not going to change my mind.
Yeah.
On the way into the poll.
I early voted, but a bunch of people that I worked with voted at a location that's really close to where I work, and there were members of almost every major candidate outside of the polling place stopping people as they walked in to vote, to talk to them or shake their hand or thank them for voting for them before they'd even voted for them. So, like,
that's
to me, it's just fucking annoying because, you know, your post was perfect. You are not going to sway my vote by giving me a sticker. I mean, you know, vote for Blaine because he's Blaine. Like, fuck off. I just want to vote and go to work, you know?
Right. Like if anyone's going to like the poll, like, like I'm gonna get swayed by the sign that's posted right outside the door because it's gonna stick in my head somehow.
Yeah.
Like, sure, that'll work on like maybe a handful of people, or probably more than I actually think. But you can't. Campaigning should be done well before someone walks to the polling place.
Absolutely. Well, and you know, I think anything is possible at this point because I didn't think that Indiana would, like I said, get duped by Mike Braun's commercials, but apparently they did. So,
while we're on the subject, I am currently campaigning for favorite Doom Room person.
Okay.
Is that a voted?
If you go to the Doom Room page, there is a form you can fill out. I think it's at this point it's just a nomination form, but go ahead and fill that out and put me as your favorite scene person.
I see a couple issues with this.
No, you don't.
I'm just gonna write in Tyler now.
Just thank you.
He has to go to shows in order to be.
Hey, fucker, I have.
You've been to.
No, I'm just gonna get a bunch of people to someone who's never been there. Not like myself. I'll put myself in there.
Vote for me, y'all.
Never been to the Doom Room. Don't know where it is. I'm just gonna win.
But here's the problem, Blaine. Just a couple issues I see. I'm not saying you don't deserve the position, but in reality, I am, because the first issue and the main one is no one really likes you.
I've been.
And step 2 or issue 2, you're a duty head.
Wow.
I just think you're
the
too much of an
mudslinging
insider.
begins.
No, everybody go vote for Blaine because he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I campaigned last year, and you know who beat me? Nick.
Right.
And it's like
isn't Nick the Doom Room though?
He is literally the Doom Room. Like, everybody there's a lot of people that think that the Doom Room is a place. No, it's way more than just a place.
It's like a lifestyle brand.
Honestly, yeah. Like, I'm not gonna I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, the Doom Room is a lifestyle. Like, it's a venue. It's a promotion.
It's a place to eat pizza at.
It's an entity.
It is an entity because the Doom Room isn't just a house.
It's like that episode of The Office where Jim wanted to award an employee and Dwight made it go to himself. It's like you just made up an award to give to yourself at that point. If Nick gets the award for Doom Room
Well, the thing is, people voted for it. People voted Nick.
I mean, he shouldn't even been eligible. Like, it should be.
He should have gave it to somebody else, but he didn't. He gave it to himself. Whatever. He can do whatever he wants. He's Nick. He's awesome.
You sound
I
bitter
fucking
to
love
me.
that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
You sound bitter to me.
I was very bitter.
I'm pretty stoked about that Brews with Dudes beer.
Yeah, it's decent. It's a stout. Or I think it's a coffee stout. It was okay.
I'm a stout fan.
I haven't had it
Stouts.
since it was released at Taze Brewing Company, Taze River Brewing Company. But I had it on at the North End Pub when they did the Halloween show. I think it was the Halloween show that they released that at.
Where's he been brewing it at? Out there?
Taze River, where he works. He works at Taze River Brewing Company, and they allowed him to use his own recipe and brew with their equipment. And all that. And this Sunday, they actually released it there. Beforehand, they released it at the North End Pub as just like a 1 keg thing. And it was okay. It was very...
You don't like stouts, so...
Well, no. That wasn't what I didn't like about it.
No,
But
I'm just saying, you don't like stouts, so...
Typically, no, I don't. But I like tasting them. Do I like drinking them? No. But when I tasted it, I was like, it's got a good flavor, but it leaves a lot to be desired. So I don't know if they've changed something, because it also didn't have a lot of carbonation. So it was kind of... I don't want to say flat. It wasn't flat, but it was really...
Maybe an issue when they kegged it?
Maybe. I don't know. It was very light on the mouthfeel, if you get what I mean.
Blaine needs lots of mouthfeel.
I need lots of mouthfeel. And
You have an oral fixation? Is that the problem?
oh, yeah, totally. So hopefully at Taze River, where it's tapped at right now, it's better. I haven't had it there yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, I just need to get out there to try some of those Indiana breweries.
Oh, dude.
Probably, was it Three Floyds?
Oh, yeah,
that's probably the closest one that I need to go
Oh,
check
definitely.
out.
By all means, go to Three Floyds. I mean, great food, great beer. You'll enjoy it. I mean, it's right by Nate too, so he'll go.
Right. May have to make the next Foodies outing.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. If Nate's still on the live stream, that's what we need to do for the next episode.
Journey into Comics Network management, get on that.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Matt Anthony's, too.
Oh, up in Fort Wayne, yeah. We went there before the Coheed show, and that's our second time there. And we had a pineapple milkshake IPA, and it was just
That's what we
delicious.
decided to start with, and it was good enough that we didn't stop.
Yeah, we
didn't
drank that.
change. We just decided to stick with that. So
I like pineapple, but I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh,
I'd have to try
it's
it.
one of the smoothest things you'll ever drink.
Someone tried that one, tried a pumpkin beer, and it was fine, but the pumpkin aftertaste was just garbage. You're just like, it tastes okay, but then that taste sits in your mouth, and you're like,
Yeah.
I need to drink something else
pineapple
now.
is my favorite fruit, and
Oh, yeah.
I never
Same.
thought that pineapple would be. I mean, I love pineapple on pizza. Get mad, fucking internet, because pineapple belongs on pizza. But
It has a place.
I never
By
thought
itself or with ham?
what
By itself or with ham?
with bacon, not ham.
Ham.
Ham is a shit pizza topping. Ham does not belong on pizza. Bacon
Like
belongs
Canadian?
on pizza.
Like regular bacon?
Like all the bacon,
All right.
just not the.
like Canadian bacon,
Not-
which is basically ham.
not-
I was
not-
making
not
sure you weren't
Canadian
that
bacon.
person.
I'm talking that heritage bacon. But
I love
thick
ham on
cut.
pizza.
I never thought that pineapple would be a good flavor profile to couple with beer, and a lot of the craft beer that I have had, anything citrus or pineapple, has been fucking fantastic. So my favorite craft beer is pineapple flavored. So
I'll have to check that out.
it's a pineapple
Definitely.
cosmic jacuzzi, man.
No, that's something
That
good.
is the best craft beer I've ever had.
Plainfield, Indiana Brew Link. Good stuff.
I'll have to check it out. 'Cause I'm a big fan of pineapple. That was my breakfast today, was just some cut pineapple.
Nice.
It's just the way to do
You gotta
it.
eat.
Way to start
You
your
gotta
day.
eat it in moderation because it has the second highest concentration of sugar and fruit.
And does it also eat you back? It's just the,
A little bit because it's one of the most acidic fruits in existence.
so it breaks down your not in enough. Maybe you'd have to drown someone in super concentrated pineapple juice, but I don't think it would.
If you take a steak and you marinate it in pineapple juice overnight, the steak will be like Play-Doh the next morning.
Sweet.
So if you want a good meat tenderizer, use a dash of pineapple juice. It'll save you every time.
Ooh. While we're on that subject, though, ham, I love on pizza. Go to Monocle's and get a pepperoni and ham pizza.
Okay, wait a minute. You're telling me that ham is a superior pizza topping to bacon?
No, I did not say that
Okay.
whatsoever. I'm just saying, get a pepperoni ham
So-
at Monocle's Pizza.
So by that logic, why would I ever choose ham over bacon? Why
just,
not?
Just have something different. I
Why
don't know.
not? When I go to Monocle's, I get a pepperoni and bacon pizza like I always do.
That's always a good
It's
choice.
okay.
I mean, or you just go stick with all pork and just get like Italian sausage, bacon, and ham, and just.
You could do that.
To be fair,
You
I
could
don't
do
like
that.
bacon on pizza.
Get out.
You don't like-
Get leave.
But I like bacon. I love bacon. Bacon's one of my favorite foods, but I don't like it on pizza.
Leave.
Have you ever had
The show
ham
is
on top
mine
of a
now.
burger?
Ham on top of a burger? No, absolutely not. That's weird.
That's not bad. All the meats. Or like pulled pork on top of a burger.
Oh,
Ving-
I have had that, and that's excellent.
Ving Rams crashes through the fucking wall like the Kool-Aid Man. We have the meats. And he just starts slinging hams at people.
That's like 2 weeks in a row you've brought that up.
Well, 2 weeks in a row that I brought up Ving Rams.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Tyler's got meat vision.
when I worked at Monocle's, what I would do, so I would make this pizza. It was a small,
Okay.
so a 12-inch crust.
Thank you for describing that.
And it was a double crust.
Oh.
You could get double crust for
Oh.
$1 more. It's double crust.
Oh.
And I would put, and typically it's not like this, but I would put cheese in between the two.
Oh, you'd make a fucking crunch wrap.
Yeah, and then on the top crust, I would actually I'd have to make slits so the gas from the heated cheese, the melted cheese, would escape. But then it would be pepperoni and ham. Oh my god, it was delicious. Especially with that old gallon of Kraft Ranch I used to have.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome. They don't.
Oh.
They switched ranch. They switched to the Monocle's brand ranch, and it was
You
never
do-
the same.
You do ranch on a pizza?
Oh yeah.
We live in Indiana, AP. We put
Were you-
ranch
were
on
you-
everything.
Are you the French people at Monocle's too who put French on your
Oh, I
pizza?
do that too.
I do that.
Now that they switched to Monocle's brand ranch, I do exclusively Monocle's brand French.
I have a bottle of Monocle's French in my refrigerator 365 days a year.
It is so good. The sweet and
I've had
tart
Monocle's in
dressing.
a while, just because it's not up here. But next time I go back home, I got to get some Monocle's pizza.
Please do it.
I'm actually really craving Monocle's pizza right now. It's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
I think the nearest one I think is like Peoria. Like I can't. Not right now.
You can justify driving to Peoria for Monocle's Pizza. Come on, AP.
Actually, is there one in like maybe is there one?
You're a
in
fucking
Northwest
American.
Indiana?
Manifest destiny. Get down there.
Just mail me a pizza. Just,
People died on the Trail of Tears for your ability to drive to Peoria and fucking eat Monocle's Pizza.
My grandparents live in near Stone Mountain, Georgia, and every time they come up here, they'll eat Monocle's pizza, and then they'll get some Monocle's to go and bring it back.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're from Monticello, Indiana, but they moved down there, and they don't get that now.
I don't know what Georgia like. I don't know what pizza is like in Georgia.
I don't
Probably
either. Like,
not
I've only
much.
had chain pizza down there.
It's sad.
I've only had like
You get Papa John's down there.
yeah, I've only had like I can't even remember what I had down there. It was probably Pizza Hut or Domino's or maybe a Chuck E.
Little
Cheese.
Caesars. Just a little,
So while we're talking about pizza, I'm not a Chicago style pizza guy.
Yeah,
I just don't care for it. But I am a
Don't like the
Detroit.
thick?
But I am a Detroit style pizza guy.
there's a Detroit style. I did not know this.
So
what is the Detroit style?
so have either of you guys had the deep dish pizza from Little Caesars?
No,
Yeah.
Okay, that's Detroit style pizza.
Well, that's not bad.
Rectangular
I dig-
pizza.
okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Rectangular deep dish pizza. What makes it Detroit style is the crust, the edge of the crust.
Yeah,
So they put butter and cheese on the edge of the crust, and then as it bakes, the cheese that's on top of that buttered crust actually fries.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's crispy on the edges.
Yeah.
awesome.
That's Detroit style pizza. So it's deep dish, but it's not Chicago style where it's drowning in tomato sauce,
Yeah,
which is obnoxious. I mean, I like,
it's not that it's drowning; just that they put it on top,
well,
which is odd to
Well,
me.
It depends. It really depends on the. There's all those different.
Yeah.
There was a Foodies episode about it.
Geno's
It's-
doesn't put it on top.
yeah, but I mean, you've got Geno's, you've got Giordano's, you've got.
I haven't had Giordano's. I really want to try Giordano's.
Illuminati's is my
Yeah,
go-to.
I was gonna
if I'm
say
at that.
Illuminati's. Geno's is my favorite. Illuminati. I don't really care for Giordano's pizza. I don't really like their toppings.
Yeah.
Illuminati's is probably my second favorite.
Well, isn't Giordano's the one that has like the cornbread crust, or
Yes.
it's
No.
not cornbread, but it's a cornmeal in the
No,
crust?
Geno's is the cornmeal.
I thought it was Giordano's.
Gino's East is the cornmeal. Because I haven't had...
I know one of them was.
Gino's East I've had twice, and the last time I had it, I was actually I was so looking forward to it. It was back like last December, and then I had it, and I was like, this was disappointing. But
you can get them in the store too. Did you know that?
Why would I do that though when I can just go straight to the source?
Because driving.
I mean, if you can get it from the grocery aisle.
Driving 3 hours to Chicago for pizza is dumb.
Yeah, that's why I didn't drive just for pizza. I was just up there.
Yeah, but going to Chicago is dumb.
For the record, I stopped along the way. I stopped along the way and hung out at Nate's, and then we went to Chicago and stayed with Matt.
Right. No, I get it, but like,
we just had a weekend.
Like this. No offense to you, AP, but the state of Illinois is bad enough. Like, if we could just remove Chicago from existence, like that would be a benefit to humanity.
Honestly, yeah, I'd make my trip to Milwaukee so much faster.
Yeah, like fuck Chicago.
I want to go to Milwaukee again so bad, but I don't want to.
There's a water bridge that goes over Chicago into Milwaukee.
I just don't want to drive through Chicago.
Here's the thing: there's a Milwaukee-style pizza too.
Oh my god!
I've never had it, but I've read about it.
There's a Dick's Pizza. There's a Dick's Pizzeria in Milwaukee, and I want to go there so bad. But
Milwaukee's closer to me than Chicago, so it's tempting a lot of time just to go there.
Nice.
I want to make a trip up there again so bad.
Because I live like 5 minutes from that Six Flags that's in Gurney.
Oh, okay.
It's like one day I was like craving Steak and Shake, so I just drove to Gurney, drove right to Six Flags, got some Steak and Shake, came back.
Nice.
And then messed up my order.
Is that your closest Steak and Shake?
What?
Is that your closest Steak and Shake?
Yeah, there's not one. It's not a big chain right around where I live.
Okay.
There's like one like 30 minutes south and one like 15 minutes north, and I'm like, all right, I'm guessing get some Steak and Shake.
Man,
but it's cheap, good burgers though.
We're on a mission from God.
To be fair, like here in town, there's like a Steak and Shake 20 minutes this way and 20 minutes this way from my house.
They're actually on the same road.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. They're on the same road.
Two ends of the road.
But it takes like 15 minutes to get to it no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like I'm 5 minutes away from two different McDonald's. I'm like, how does that... What?
You got options.
It's just the nature of the beast.
Nature of the beast.
But I have a Taco Bell that I can walk to from my house, so that's also...
Hey,
That's
me too.
fucking dangerous.
Me too.
I mean,
I had Taco Bell more since I moved here, which has been like 3 times than in my life before this, because I wasn't a huge Taco Bell person.
oh, I fucking love Taco Bell. I could eat Taco Bell every day, no problem.
I just had their breakfast stuff. Their breakfast stuff's not bad either.
It's not. It's actually not.
I've yet to
I
have
had
it,
that
but
breakfast
I've wanted
crunch
it.
wrap, which was actually pretty good.
They've come a long way from the waffle taco that they debuted their breakfast menu with. Yeah, their breakfast stuff's pretty good. I mean, it's no Jack in the Box 99-cent breakfast tacos, but it is what it is.
Jack in the Box.
Do what?
I like Jack in the Box.
I do too.
I've only had it a couple times, but it's always good.
Yeah, I've always dug Jack in the Box. Like for me, like not having the availability of a lot of the fast food chains, which is pathetic. But not having the availability of a lot of the fast food chains that I had when I lived, on the East Coast or the West Coast, it's like depressing sometimes. Like I just want to drive up to In-N-Out and get a 4x4 animal style with some animal style fries, and I can't do it.
I had In-N-Out in Vegas. That was a treat.
Yeah. I mean, I used to live in Southern California, so I mean,
that was your chain.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't trip and fall without landing on a Jack in the Box or an In-N-Out burger. You
need that Carl's Jr.
Well, I mean, you go to Carl's Jr. and you drive 30 minutes any other direction, and it's a Hardee's. It's the same fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
It's the same restaurant. I don't know why it had 2 different names, but it's fine.
So we had a Hardee's built here recently. On the West Coast, you can get curly fries at Hardee's or Carl's Jr. You can't get them here.
When Delphi, my hometown, used to have Hardee's, they had curly fries.
Yeah, the Hardee's that they built on 52, they do not have curly fries.
Man,
piss me
I like
off.
their sliders.
Yeah, their sliders are pretty good.
There's one right by my high school.
I go to
so
Hardee's
like,
for the breakfast.
Oh yeah, I mean, shit, cinnamon raisin biscuits, still fucking delicious.
Dim hash browns.
Hash browns are good. Burger King has them too.
Yep.
If you get them extra crispy, they're just as good. But part of the reason Hardee's breakfast food is so good is they're one of the only fast food chains that still fucking hand makes shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, McDonald's, like for the Egg McMuffin, those are all legitimate hand cracked eggs. You know, any of the square eggs, the actual all yellow egg, that's Egg Beaters, which is still fucking eggs, so it's okay. Just eat the shit.
Yeah.
But fucking somebody at every Hardee's or Carl's Jr. in the fucking nation hand makes every fucking biscuit that comes out of that place on a daily basis.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's pathetic that we're talking about a fast food chain. Like, we're hyping up a fast food chain. But, like...
Nothing wrong with that.
No one does that.
No.
When it's legit like that, there's nothing wrong
Right.
with hyping it up.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just
no
the
issue
fact.
with
It's just
that.
the fact that we're hyping up a fast food chain. is what I'm getting
Right.
at. I mean, don't get me wrong. Skylar and Ruby and I ate at fucking Hardee's this weekend for breakfast, and I was thoroughly satisfied. So
I'm excited because the house I'm moving to is like it's really in the middle of everything. Like, I have Hardee's and stuff this way. I got Dog and Suds and Taco Bell I got Taco Bell like right in the middle, or not Taco Bell, Dog and Suds right in the middle, and then Taco Bell right over here, and I'm Steak and Shakes along the way to Hardee's, so it's like, that's cool too.
stop and get a milkshake
Yeah.
on your way to get your fucking...
Yeah,
Sourdough.
And then, yeah, like like I said, I'm right in the middle. I got the mall and Wendy's on the way.
Wendy's has been...
Dick's about to get so fat.
Yeah. Beefcake.
No, I mean, I mostly eat fast food right now just because, like, we don't
convenient.
We don't really like cooking in this house because there's like the kitchen's really small and it's just not a lot.
You can have
do.
a roommate in your new place?
No, I am gonna own this and people can fuck off. No, we get.
The only people you want living in your house are going to be personally responsible for.
Yeah, I mean,
You want to let Cameron live in your crawl space?
No, we're gonna. So we got kids, so there's no room.
You don't want
for
strange people
roommates.
living in your house with kids. It's just a weird situation.
Yeah, and I mean, it's already weird enough because I moved in here with them. Like, my first living experience with Miranda and her kids was with somebody else involved.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not the ideal situation, but it is what it is. You know, she's hated it every step of the way because she doesn't feel like she's an adult anymore. If that makes
You're living with a roommate?
yeah, because she's lived on her own since she was 17. Like, she moved out at
That's
17 and has lived on her own. So she's.
I remember talking about that. She's really proud of like how far she's come.
Oh yeah. And then she took a step back because she moved into her parents, and then she moved into here, which is like not much better than her parents. So
now she'll be out on her own again.
Yeah. So I think her place mentally is gonna just skyrocket.
Well, she'll be living with her husband and her kids
Yes.
in a place that she owns.
Yes.
Well, the bank owns and you're paying for the next
Yes.
20 years, but still, it's
the title of house owner, homeowner.
yeah, the title. That's how it is.
We're both really looking forward to it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the kids excited?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was really funny because if you knew what we were going through at this house, like, it would just blow your mind. But like Nazira, her daughter,
Your daughter.
my
How do you pronounce that?
Nazira,
And what's the other one's name?
Maverick.
Maverick.
Has nothing to
Top
do with
Gun
Top
fan.
Gun. Has nothing to do with
No,
Top
no,
Gun,
no.
believe it or not.
It has everything to do with Top Gun. Don't let him lie to you.
Turns out, yeah. No.
But surprisingly, Nazira is all about Top Gun, right?
Oh yeah, you know.
That's the surprising.
That's a little Easter egg that no one knows about.
She was the vampire pulling the strings in the background.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But no, Nazira was like, she just out of nowhere starts like talking about how she hates living here.
really.
And she's,
like, oh.
I'll tell
Was she,
you
like,
about it
7
later.
or something?
But she's 5,
Oh, okay.
and she starts listing off like all these reasons, and it's just it's cracking me up because it's all so
Were they valid reasons?
yes, because it's all so true. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, I feel you, dog.
Sometimes it really do be like that.
I get it.
So yeah, we're all very. I just took a very big drink. I'm out of beer now, but we're all very excited to move into this house and make it our own and live our lives. like essentially start our lives.
Right.
I'm excited to pimp that studio out.
Me too.
Do you have a room, Marty, you can have dedicated to your podcast layer?
We got a basement dedicated to it.
Blaine and I are
Is it
going
a
to man
finished
cave
basement?
the fuck out of that.
Yeah, it's got a full bathroom down there too. We're gonna,
Oh, so you have guests not even like you don't get to go upstairs. No, you
which
go
is
to the basement.
actually cool because one of the doors leads directly down to doors outside leads directly down to the basement. So it's like
Oh, so you don't see the rest of the house. You don't see my kids.
no.
Put a mini fridge down there, put beer in it, and you're good.
Mini fridge. We're putting a fucking full fridge down that bitch.
There you go.
Yep. Eventually.
You have a giant neon sign that just says Podcastrophe.
No, but we are gonna look into like an actual like
On-air sign?
like on air recording now type sign to display
That'd be
when
sweet.
we're recording.
Put one of those lights outside of the door outside to go down there that always turns red or green depending on when they can come down.
Yes.
If you're
Yeah,
recording or
yeah.
not.
I'm going to get a chair to match yours. Mine's going to be yellow.
What cracks me up is my grandma's giving me one of her couches. And it's like actually out of the 3 couches that are being given to us, it's the nicest couch, but it's going to be the one down in the basement with us. Just because it's
There you
not going to
go.
match anything else. And it's actually like
get
a
it.
really nice like decorative couch. But my grandma, she's got like 3 of these things that match each other. And this
Because
is
back then you bought furniture that matched.
Oh yeah, and like this is like a really nice like material. Like it looks like really nice, like a 60 or 70-year-old person would have in their home.
Put a cover on it.
And we're gonna have it down in my podcast room studio and be drinking beer all over it.
That's why we're gonna put a slip cover on it.
I'm
We
not.
gotta
Gonna,
scotch guard it.
I'm not gonna do anything to it. Like
Well, I'm gonna do
because
it.
she just up and decides like I'm only getting rid of one of my couches, not the whole set, just one of them.
I can live with 2.
All those people that do that always regret giving away that one piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it 5 different times in my life.
So why give up that ottoman? It would have worked so
She
well right
recently
here.
completely redid her house. She like gutted her. She got rid of her kitchen and living room and basically swapped the 2. And it's weird how like much she opened up her house and changed the layout. But it works. It's really cool how.
Tell
it
her to
works
come
now.
remodel my bathroom.
I should live in that place her whole life.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah,
Or
they-
your whole life.
They got that house back in like the 70s, and like they've just lived there, and it's like,
It's weird. They just lived there.
yeah, whoa. I mean, it's changed so much just since I've been but a wee lad.
Yeah.
Like they expanded it and all that, and now like they turned the living room into a giant kitchen.
They got turnt.
Yeah.
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 It's good to have land.
Oh yeah, and like so where my grandma lives, there's 2 houses on the corner of this like these 2 country roads like that intersect each other, and the other house is my great grandmother's, and in between is this giant field, and it was just so big that they originally had like a baseball diamond there.
Oh wow.
And that's just what they did because like
They didn't have video games and stuff.
yeah, well, okay, so my dad's one of 4 kids. He's the second of 4. And on top of that, my grandmother's brother is only like 2 years older than maybe my oldest uncle. So like there's 5 of those kids running around. And so they're just like, well, we got to do something. So they just made a baseball diamond out there so they could play baseball. I mean, it's big enough. If you see it, you're just like, whoa.
If you build it, they will come. That's the...
It's a field. It's literally a field. It's cool. I remember when I was like 4 or 5, I would walk down to my great grandma's, and it felt like it took forever. It felt like it took a whole lifetime to traverse that field. I thought I was doing something, and now it's just like it's like a quick minute jog, not a jog, but like brisk walk, you know.
I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
Yeah. Wow. We're running late. Do you want to just go ahead and call it?
But do you have anything you
Yeah.
wanna
Oh wait.
kind of send us off, wrap up the episode with, AP?
No, I'm pretty good. I'm fine with whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys want to wrap it up, that's cool too.
I just remembered that I have something. So I posted this this picture earlier, and it's basically like a hospital bill. It comes with.
I did see that.
It comes with a story. It's really crazy. Let me get rid of all my chat here. So okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and read this story. So you got the Banner Health statement and all that, and okay, so
That's your EOB.
Yeah, that
Explanation of benefits.
that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. It's time to go public with this shit. 2 weeks ago today, I walked into the ER because if I didn't, I was going to kill myself. I was stripped of all my clothes and possessions, given disposable scrubs, and put in a room for the next 5 hours. In the U.S., this cost nearly $3,000. I was then placed in the behavioral health ward until Sunday at noon. 3 nights, 2.5 days, because it was a weekend. All therapy was scaled back, both in number of sessions and the quality of sessions. During one, we simply played a trivia game. I sat around watching TV all day and chatting with a Vietnam vet. In the U.S., this cost nearly $10,000. During this stay, I had blood drawn twice. That was another $3,800. Not shown are the physician charges that bring my grand total to over $18,000. I saw an MD once and had once daily sessions with a psychiatrist. Those sessions consisted of rating my depression on a scale of 1 to 10 and asking if I want to hurt myself or anyone else. Real stellar care. Oh, I almost forgot to point out the $145 for 3 days worth of meds. I normally pay less than $50 for an entire month. My employee-sponsored insurance does not cover inpatient mental health care in any capacity. I do have a supplemental insurance plan that will hopefully cover $6,000, leaving me on the hook for over $12,000. We know why people don't seek help. This is why. So let's discuss.
Well, my first time on the show, I brought this up almost immediately.
Oh yeah, immediately.
The issues with our healthcare system, and we're in a time where, in my opinion, and a lot of people would disagree with me, but if you go fully privatized healthcare, no government sponsored healthcare, I mean, everyone in this nation has to find their own healthcare and purchase it. You get that. And it would amplify that. And then if you go the other way and you go fully socialized healthcare, in my mind, my personal opinion, you would see it's the long running joke that I've brought about on the show a lot. You know, if you and I both go to medical school and you finish top of the class and I finish absolute minimum of passing, we're both still doctors at the end of the day. You go socialized healthcare, and you're going to have a lot more of that, because you go socialized healthcare, you're going to, you know, just pulling numbers out of my ass, you're going to quintuple the amount of people that have access to healthcare in 24 hours. You know, it's exponentially greater.
Yeah.
And those people are going to immediately seek healthcare. You're going to need to pump out doctors as fast as you can so people don't die on waiting lists. Because if we go fully socialized healthcare, we'll care about that then, because we don't care about it now. Right. So your overall quality of care, in my mind, is going to decrease. We have to find the middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I think regardless of what direction we go in, at this point, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you might disagree with some of the things that I said, AP, or maybe your cat has a comment.
Cat has no shame. That's definitely rough. And I know I haven't had too much experience with like extensive medical bills. Like, I had one surgery and my work provided, or I pay for the work insurance, but the insurance I had through my employer paid for a good chunk of it, and I can't imagine I have to pay that much. But I do agree that I feel like the wait times would be kind of crazy in a more socialized government or a socialized medical care setup. But I don't have really too much to add because I've not really been in that kind of situation. I don't know, Dick, do you have anything?
Yeah, I think it's just crazy that just to keep herself from killing herself, it cost her $18,000.
Well, I mean,
I feel that
go ahead.
just add to the depression.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just it's personally, I think it's very courageous of her for her to realize in that moment, if I don't do something right now, I might not have the control to take care of this, and then I will cease to be. And she took it upon herself to
Seek medical care.
to seek medical care, which a lot of people just don't. A lot of people are too afraid to. A lot of people don't realize, or they're just so far in their own head that they don't really see that as even an option. So, like, luckily she was in the right headspace to realize something was going on, and she sought help. Whoever this was, I don't know this person obviously, but like, and then because she decided to do something for herself, it cost her basically a car.
But here's the thing:
Right.
is that $18,000 not worth her life?
I mean, there's no price on life.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending our healthcare system.
No,
I mean,
I know you.
Anyone that listens to me talk about our healthcare system knows that I would never defend it.
Yeah.
This is obviously very cynical and pointed towards some healthcare reform, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we need healthcare reform. We don't need
Definitely.
Obamacare. We don't need fully privatized healthcare. Like I said, we need to find that middle ground, and we need more people like this individual basically calling out our government and the healthcare system both.
Right.
Because they're both at fault. But as long as we just complain about it to each other, we are as much at fault as the other two parties, in my mind.
Right. Because we're not bringing it up to anyone that's going to have any chance to change it.
Yeah, we're just bitching about it. We're just bitching about it to
Right.
bitch about it.
Right, 'cause as long as they can get it subsidized in a way, like the people who provide medicine, the people who provide medical care can charge whatever they want because they know you're going to pay for it either way. Why they're not going to refuse to pay. It's like that whole pharmaceutical thing, which is a whole other rant you can get into about pharmaceutical prices and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Which he did. Very first episode he was on, he did.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was like, I think that was my first exposure to what Tyler was. I was like,
Oh, this is
we're going to
Tyler.
have Tyler conversation.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Right
Man.
off the bat.
I mean, we would honestly be here for another 2 hours just me ranting about the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
And then it would just amplify after that every time someone else made a comment. But the problem is this individual, like you said, sought help. In her mind, she is being penalized for seeking help because that's part of the depression and the anxiety and the mental health issues because, well, fuck. You know, I did what most people don't do. I sought help, and here I am getting a bill for $18,000.
Right.
This post could easily be spun around, and if it was me looking at this, I would almost say, you know what? I paid $18,000, and every cent of that $18,000 was worth my life. That is now someone who has overcome depression and crippling anxiety and being able, and someone who's able to look at a more optimistic side of life now. But yeah, it's just a tough situation all around because the way that I look at, the way that it makes sense in my head when I visualize it, you're standing in a hallway, and it doesn't matter what door you open, you're going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Because she chose life, which is the right choice. But from someone who has dealt with crippling depression, that out is pretty enticing. And once you're gone, you don't have to fucking worry about it anymore. Obviously, the damage that you leave behind is a lot of times a lot more than the issues that you were dealing with, and then it just compounds and drives other people down that same path But it doesn't fucking matter because you're gone. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, normally I would sugarcoat it and say, well, I mean, the important thing is, to not burden the other people, but that's part of the depression cycle. You don't want to burden anybody else, so you keep yourself in all that pain and all that anguish, but to not burden yourself anymore, you have to take yourself out of the equation, which is also burdening other people. I mean, it's a cycle, and anybody that has dealt with it knows exactly what I'm talking about. No matter what door you go through, you're in your mind at that moment you're making a wrong decision.
Yeah.
So I would like to see follow-up from this. Number one, if there's any any correspondence with the hospital or her insurance company or her employer, and then maybe 6 months down the road, if it's more of an optimistic view, like I said, where this was $18,000 and I would pay more to keep going,
Right.
Some of the so I shared this post, and some of the comments I got was literally all of my debt. I went to the ER. This is a different person. I went to the ER 3 years ago when I had a stomach ulcer. Sat there for 4 hours. Saw the doctor one time, and all he did was give me something to drink to numb my stomach. $4,500 for the room and $3,000 to the guy who handed me the drink.
Yep.
The next comment says the government has it all wrong. They think we need affordable insurance to cover health care. No, we need regulations so that health care is affordable.
Yes.
Let's stop making the middleman rich.
Yes, and I have ranted and ranted and ranted about that until I'm blue in the face.
I'm going to go to this person's page and see if there is any follow-up.
The issue is not the government. The issue is healthcare.
Wow.
Right.
So the original post has 37,000.5K comments, 96.2K shares.
Yeah, I shared it the other day, too.
Oh, yeah?
When I saw it.
Okay.
Or I at least read it. I can't remember if I shared it or not, but
yeah,
I read it. I read it a couple
Rachel
days
shared
ago.
it. That's why I saw it today. Yeah, that's crazy. That's some crazy numbers right there. Okay, so that's from November 1st.
But this goes back to what I brought up, and I won't dive too deep in it because we all need to eat and go to bed tonight. But the first time I was on the show, I brought up the fact that every major industry in the United States lobby money put together is a fraction of what the medical industry does a year. The medical industry lobbies the United States government more than every other industry in our country combined.
Yeah.
That includes the oil industry, that includes the gun industry, the tech industry, every other major industry put together is just completely overshadowed by the medical industry. A fraction of that money that the medical industry lobbies would completely eclipse all of the industries put together. Still.
That's nuts.
So, it's a problem.
And yet they're developing an opioid stronger than heroin.
Yeah. If you're one of those people that buy
This is a joke.
If you're one of those people that buy into or follow the show Adam Ruins Everything, he talks about this a lot. I'm not a big fan of his. Lots of embellishment, lots of facts that needed cited that never got cited. But some of the stuff he's kind of brought to light are very credible. If you believe what he says, the government is still going off of basically price regulation or the healthcare industry is going off of price regulation that they figured out in 1930. So with inflation and everything, they've just maintained those costs. So, codeine cough syrup was fucking 8 cents in 1930. It's $75 now. That 8 cents in 1930 was probably as much as $75 is now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just. I mean, I
That's
can't.
nuts.
I can't put a lot of credibility to that because I haven't done enough research on that.
Right.
But again, the issue is the industry, not the government controlling that, or not the government giving us more freedom to interact with that industry. There needs to be more regulations on that industry. Is the problem?
Right.
So
It doesn't need government intervention. It just needs regulation.
yes, I don't need the government to have their hands in it
Right.
because, I mean, we don't need to talk about how many people on the VA waiting list die a year.
Yeah, no
You know, we don't need to
Right.
talk about that. We just need them to crack down on that industry a little bit, and things would improve. So that's about all I got to say about that today.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know how I got through all that food conversation without like starving because I'm famished right now.
I got pizza at home waiting on me, so I'm pretty
I got
antsy at this
wings
point.
just waiting to eat.
I might go down to Professor Joe's and get me a pizza down there.
Damn it, boy, get you a Hoosier.
I'll get me a pepperoni. I'm not a big fan of meat lovers.
Well, you're a fuck.
the
It's got
meat lovers
ham
called
on
a
it, you
Hoosier?
some bitch.
Yeah, no.
Is the meat lovers called a Hoosier
Yeah,
at that place?
yeah, it's fucking good. I'll send you a picture the next time I get one, so you can
Thank
appreciate.
you. I want to see it. I might just show up there if you send me the picture.
That's fair.
Hey, hell yeah, come on down.
Yeah, we'll have you
we'll all
anytime.
hang out.
Hey, you're gonna have a house now. I'll have a place to stay.
Yeah, that's what I told Nate and all of them. It's like, hey,
There's a basement.
exactly.
All I need is some insulation. I can build myself a little home down there.
Holy fuck!
That's what our friend Cameron did.
So much room for activities.
That's exactly what our friend Cameron did. He literally built himself a room. Like, he framed a wall and then drywalled it, and then he put his bed in the crawl space so he'd have more room in his bedroom.
I mean, is there just like a dirt floor in there in the crawl space, or is
he cleaned it out and tiled the ceiling of it, so it was just clean. I don't know.
Oh, dear Lord.
I haven't checked on the progress of that in a while, but
And if you had that much effort, you could just sort of done something productive and like had an actual place somewhere.
yeah, you know that he's 21, so. And
Well,
he's
still a kid.
21 with quite the imagination, so I think he just really wanted the ability to tell people, yeah, I live in a crawl space.
You're gonna come next week. There's like a wall-mounted TV down there. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, his rent's only $100 a month, and
Did he put like light and stuff down there? Was there already light down there and
I don't know.
power like outlets or
yeah, I
something?
mean,
Or she's
it's
a crazy amount of
a-
extension cords.
It's a basement with like outlets,
So he just has a bunch of stuff running through it. Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I need pictures. I need to see like a Cribs version of his lifestyle down there.
Oh, that'd be a funny video. That would be an excellent video. I'll mention that to him tomorrow at work. Like, he works at Subaru with me, and like, so he's making some decent money for a 21-year-old,
right.
and especially if you only have to pay $100 for rent and no utilities. Like,
I have so much money for activities.
yes. So, yeah, like I'll definitely keep the show updated on Cameron's adventures in the crawl space.
Can you just have him on and have him talk about it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I can't wait to have him on again.
We should have like a crawl space update where it's like the weather guy on a news
Yeah.
channel, where it's just Cameron with a pre-recorded thing.
Yeah,
Just do a live stream from the crawl space room.
we can also do that. There's so many options. Well, there's so many ways we can do this. But it is what it is.
So will in theory the next live stream be from your new home?
No, I think the next live stream, so it'll be next Tuesday, and we close next Tuesday. So I have
Might be a
either
solo
the
show.
option of not doing a show at all because Miranda immediately wants to start moving in.
Right. She wants to get out of this place and make her own
Definitely.
space, I'm
So
sure.
I either have the option of neglecting that and doing a show, or
Right.
helping her out and doing that. We're just gonna see what happens. There might not be an episode next week. We don't know. We might have to take a week off.
Right.
Which
Or just have it. Always have some. You always have someone cover for you.
yeah.
Have a Rolo happy time hour.
God. I don't know if we can handle that. I mean, Tyler, he's gonna be out. He's gonna be out of town, so he's unavailable. We have an option, but I don't know if he's up for that right now. We have our frequent guest, possible future co-host, Matt.
I like that.
But we don't know if he's up for the task. Just so short, like such short notice. If he,
Nate won't let a gap happen, so something will appear.
yeah, we'll have to figure it out. Maybe this weekend I'll do a solo cast just to fill in the gap.
Hey, maybe I'll do a solo cast. You fuck.
Well, will you?
I don't know.
Just
We'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We got a couple days.
doing Tyler's best of rants.
Oh, Skylar pops up in the chat. It's been like hours since anybody comments. She goes, "We could live stream on our travel adventures."
We're not traveling on Saturday, but we could do that for the live stream on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Just do like random updates on where we're at.
yeah. It's gonna be Thanksgiving week, so people are gonna be traveling, and
Is that next week, really?
yeah, that's crazy. Like it was odd to me too, because I'm used to Thanksgiving being at like the very end. Instead, we get like a whole nother week of November
Right.
after Thanksgiving. It's like,
Well, that means Black Friday's just around the corner too.
yeah,
That was how we started this conversation.
yep.
Check out all those deals.
So
We taking this thing home?
I'm taking it home. Tyler, you got anything else to add?
No, thanks again for coming on the show this week, AP. We've wanted
Yeah,
to get you
dude.
on here again for a while.
Next time you're on here, it'll be in person.
Yee.
Definitely.
I assure you. And the plans I have, you saw my plans.
I've heard. I'm excited. Gonna get Liz down there. It'll be good.
Are you prepared for? I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil a bit of it. Are you prepared for a network drunk catastrophe?
I'm gonna get so drunk for you.
For me, you hear that, Tyler? For me,
I'm gonna get so drunk for you, Daddy.
Oh god.
hashtag daddy culture.
Oh god. He needs to go die in a fire.
Oh, I look forward to this so much. Hopefully Nick Maxon will be there, and we can pregame with some brews with dudes.
I'm gonna get fucking wasty pants.
and then we can all have some tasty brews to drink and make our feelings special. That's the weirdest way I can say it.
I hate you.
Make the special feeling.
Yes,
Have a special time.
yes,
It'll be good.
Yes. But yeah, like that's all I've got.
That's all I got.
Yeah, once again, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on. It's been a blast. The time on here, it's like I was like, how do they podcast for like 3 hours at a time? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how. It just
Yes,
flies by.
it's because we just talk, and that's the beauty of this. We don't know where it's ever gonna go. Yeah, we'll come here with topics, but sometimes we don't even get to half of those topics because we tangent into something else that we didn't even think of, which is great. It's fun.
Yeah, if there's ever a 3-hour version of my show, I've lost my mind and just kept recording because I don't think I could talk by myself for 3 hours without like losing my mind.
Oh man, that'd be rough. That'd be rough. Like I could barely make it an hour and a half with just my solo cast. So
It's like start filibustering and like I'm gonna start reading this book out loud.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Let's like
well, folks, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Journey into Comics Network. You get all kinds of shows, such as AP's shows, Poor News, Poor Entertainment, Adulting Ain't Easy, and Foodies Watching Movies, and, of course, all the other shows on the network.
definitely.
If you haven't already, also, subscribe to us. You got us on Podbean at podcastrophypod.podbean.com, or you can search on iTunes Podcastrophe Pod. It's not Podcastrophe.
Did you not get Podcastrophe, or was it?
I think it just went off the Podbean when I submitted it. So I might have to look into it, maybe change that a bit. We'll see what happens, but search Podcastrophe Pod.
Podcastrophe.podbean.com, which goes nowhere.
Yeah, I thought that was the case, and it turns out it's not. I was corrected yesterday. I suck. But yeah, we're live every Tuesday on the Podcastrophe Facebook page, so check us out there. We do extra content now whenever we can. So just keep an eye out on the Podcastrophe Facebook page because that's where most of the content is, and you can jump on in, you can comment on the live stream, and we will interact with you live on the show. So don't be afraid to do that. But until then, That is all. That is all.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
So everybody, please make every day a big dick day. Bye, guys.
Later.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girlie's to the right of me, just like I planned. It's gonna be a big dick day.